Rick Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. It's time, isn't it, to update the look of your house, but you don't even know where to begin. First step, Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. Yes, Tri-County's been in the roof business for 47 years, but Chuck, Tony, and the crew also handle siding. They've got design consultants that can help you. No exterior contractor will do what Tri-County Contracting can do for you. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's siding that'll make you love your home again.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
San Diego likes to stay on Pacific time. But here in Milwaukee, we're right on
being set. Here's the throw from Perkins. It is going to be in time! Game over!
The Brewers take on the San Diego Padres tonight at American Family Field. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, May 12th. Your top story, a school employee under investigation for child abuse.
I'm Adam Roberts in for Jessica Ty. Charges filed in a deadly bridge collapse.
Scattered showers today, breezy and warm, will eventually get up to a high of 74. Wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour, however. Showers ending, gradual clearing tonight, a low of 43. 53 with rain in the vicinity of Milwaukee, approaching 12:01. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, a Milwaukee Public Schools employee under investigation after a child abuse complaint.
Milwaukee police say a school employee allegedly struck a student Friday afternoon near 65th and Warmont. A 26-year-old man was taken into custody, and a letter sent to families. Wedgwood Park International School says the district immediately contacted police and Child Protective Services following the incident. Police say potential criminal charges will be referred to the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office. This comes just days after a separate alleged student and teacher child abuse incident at Engelberg School. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
A body is recovered this morning from the Milwaukee River in the River West neighborhood. The medical examiner's office confirming to WTMJ it was called to the area east of Humboldt and Wright around 8 this morning. The identity of the person pulled out of the water is not known. It's also not known if foul play is suspected.
A man facing charges related to a series of street takeovers in Milwaukee will stand trial.
Ricky Alcantara Hernandez of South Milwaukee pled not guilty to recklessly endangering safety and possessing a machine gun. Prosecutors say he organized multiple street takeovers last month, including at Kinnickinnick and Lincoln in the Bayview neighborhood. Videos posted on social media allegedly show Alcantara Hernandez driving recklessly during the takeovers, often drifting within inches of onlookers. He's due back in court next month. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Criminal charges have been filed by the Justice Department against 2 foreign companies and 1 employee associated with the massive ship that destroyed Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge in 2024, killing 6 people.
The Justice Department says when the Dolly suffered a power outage, its fuel pump generators could not restart in time for the ship to avoid the Key Bridge.
We allege that the possibility of such a catastrophic power failure should have been no surprise to Synergy.
The Justice Department's Adam Gustafson says that's because Synergy, the ship's operator, and its technical operator were using improper fuel pumps and lied about it to the Coast Guard. Synergy says the NTSBs concluded that Synergy and its crew were not the causes. Brian Clark, ABC News.
Well, the White House is not sounding the alarm over the latest inflation report.
The report shows consumer prices rose sharply last month amid the U.S. war against Iran. A White House spokesman says President Trump has always been clear about temporary disruptions as a result of Operation Epic Fury. And he says the report reinforces how the president's long-term economic agenda, quote, continues to deliver despite these disruptions. The statement cites declines in drug and hospital costs and real wage growth and adds the administration remains laser focused on delivering growth and affordability at home while eliminating Iran's nuclear threat. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Meanwhile, news about your money now, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. As that inflation reaches a 3-year high, the market's responding in kind, and it's not looking great right now. The Dow, a modest loss so far of just 9 points, but the NASDAQ is feeling it, down nearly 2% on the day, 497 points this hour, and the S&P 500 down 64 points. That's about 0.1% on the day. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. KenMichaelsFurniture.com.
From one first-place team to another, the latest on the crew. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:04.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Downtown Milwaukee is open for business, and business is booming. I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. According to business leaders, access to talent, quality of life, and connection to community are among the many benefits of locating downtown. So, if you want to grow your company or start a new one, get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Brewers carry a 4-game winning streak into tonight's contest against the first-place Padres.
They're one of the best teams in baseball. Look at their lineup. Look at what they've done. Look at their record. They've done well against us over the last 3 years, and we'll have a big challenge.
Pat Murphy gives the ball to Brandon Sproat in Game 1 of a 3-game series. Coverage gets underway at 6:05. The NFL will release its complete regular season schedule Thursday night. Some leaks coming out here. The Broncos and Chiefs will square off in the season's first Monday night football game of the season. The Bills' first regular season game in their new stadium will be against the Lions. That'll kick off Amazon Prime Video's Thursday night football schedule. The complete international schedule will be revealed on Wednesday.
Let's check the roads now, your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. It looks like we have a couple of lane closures, one due to a crash, one just due to repairs. First, that crash, 4145 south at Silver Spring. We've got the right lane blocked with this one. This crash happening about an hour ago, and we've still got delays stretching north from the crash site, and it's pretty tight through there with the construction anyway, all the way up to about Bradley Road. So as you're coming down south through Milwaukee County, be mindful of that crash. 4145 heading south on the right lane near Silver Spring. Also some delays heading north from Highway 100 up towards Capitol Drive. And then we've also got the right lane closed due to repairs on 94 south. This is near Beecher. So as you're heading out of downtown, the delays are going to start for you right around National Avenue. And once you get past, looks like the Kinnickinnick River, you should be good to go.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Well, some spotty storms are in the area. Showers, probably a better term. Nothing too severe, but rain has fallen in many parts of our listening area. Eventually, we get up to a high of 74. Wind gusts, however, up to 40 miles an hour. It should have some gradual clearing tonight and lows in the mid-40s. It's 53 and some pockets of rain here in Milwaukee at 12:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik, and in for Jessica Ty, it's Adam Roberts.
Kids were all excited this morning. 74 degrees, Dad. We're going to wear shorts. Sounds good. Then we had them go out and take the dog out, and the other one took the garbage down. They came back in and said, I got to put pants on and freezing outside. Yeah, a little bit of a slow warm-up here and maybe a little bit of a wet day for you. But eventually, And probably in the late afternoon hours, we get to that 70-degree mark. So it might take some time to get there, but hopefully we do.
Yeah, that south to north wind really hitting hard when I went down MLK Drive, coming right up to us by here at the Market Hall. It just felt whoosh, like right against the bicycle. Not great.
It's 12:09.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Well, more than a dozen Americans who were passengers on board the cruise MD Hondius ship during the hantavirus outbreak are in quarantine in Nebraska and in Atlanta. One person has tested positive, another developed symptoms, but the majority of the 17 passengers in quarantine remain asymptomatic. Well, one of those passengers, his name is Jake Rosmarin. He describes the setup.
This room is spacious. We have exercise equipment. I have a stationary bike back there, so I'll be making use out of it over the next month or so. There's air conditioning. We got food, 3 meals a day, as much as we need. I can't ask for any more than that.
So Rosemarin is one of those asymptomatic individuals, but he plans to remain in quarantine the entire 42 days, saying it's the best thing for he and his family and that he has immediate medical care available if his condition worsens. That would be worst case scenario, right? You think you're fine, you leave quarantine, you go back to whatever state you live in, and then all of a sudden, you kind of develop some of those symptoms, and then it's passed on, and now you got a real issue.
And it sounds like even though clinical as it is, being well taken care of doesn't look like there's an issue there. An icon of Milwaukee's civil rights history passing away Monday at the age of 101 years old. Dr. William Finlayson was born in a segregated South, the son of a Baptist minister, then moved to Milwaukee in 1958, and is well known for delivering around 10,000 Milwaukee babies throughout his roughly 40-year career until he retired in 1997. Also noted for founding Milwaukee's first black-owned bank in 1971. It operated for 45 years on the city's north side and received the honor of having a stretch of 5th Street between Walnut and Capitol named after him in 2022. That's just a block west from Valar Phillips Drive.
Milwaukee is a great community. We shall make it greater, and I will play a part in that. Thank you very much.
That is Dr. Finlayson speaking at the naming ceremony for that street back in 2022. The mayor out with a statement today. Milwaukee is healthier and stronger because of Dr. Finlayson's work. With the naming of a prominent street, his memory is appropriately forever part of our city. Dr. William Finlayson, dead at 101, a memorial service coming at a later date.
He was 97 at that soundbite that you played.
That's
97 years old. Amazing. And finally, the search is on for the new athletic director at the University of Wisconsin. I guess we could say it's officially on because now we got a search committee.
Yes, sir.
A formal search to replace Chris McIntosh being led by interim president Eric Wilcox. He'll be advised by a 9-member search committee chaired by Associate Professor Lauren Bishop. Also part of the committee, former UW basketball standout and NBA All-Star Michael Finley and Indianapolis Colts general manager Chris Ballard. He was a 93 grad and former football player at UW. Former AD Barry Alvarez believes it's a great job.
Tremendous university, great city to raise your family. Your fan support is there. That's a pretty good start. And you have a reserve in your athletic department, which nobody has.
The athletic department is currently being run by interim AD Marcus Sedberry. It's not clear whether he intends to toss his hat in the ring. The university expects a new and permanent director of athletics to begin later this summer. Well, the ceasefire is fragile. President Trump on his way to China. What's the goal behind that trip? We dive into all things nation's capital with Linda Kenyon from CBS after this.
Classic feeling. Your home is failing. Windows are old, roof looks horrible, siding is distressed. Even your front door fights you on everything. Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and I will be on the Fix It Show this Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. 1 hour where you get to call in and ask about your failing home and how the professionals at Siding Unlimited can help you. Can't wait until Saturday? Bring your pictures to our Siding Unlimited showroom and let's chat. Start your home updating journey with Siding Unlimited at sidingunlimited.com.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
For those with a warm weather fashion passion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scavini. Celebrate active aging at the Enjoy Life Symposium. Join Capri communities and adults 55 plus for a free high-energy day at the Enjoy Life Acting Aging Symposium. Live entertainment, a senior fashion show, and speakers like Melinda Myers and Chef Michael Fecker, the Ukuleles, and Milwaukee Dancing Grannies. Capri Communities brings it all together for one unforgettable day. Wednesday, June 10th at Elmbrook Church in Brookfield. Register now at EnjoyLifeSymposium.com and you'll be entered to win a Packers game day experience. That's EnjoyLifeSymposium.com.
Scattered showers today, breezy and warm, high of 74, wind up to 40 miles an hour. Showers ending tonight, then gradual clearing, low in the mid-40s. Sun returns on Wednesday with a high of 60 degrees. It's 55 degrees and spotty rain showers here in Milwaukee at 12:15. Greg Madsen, Adam Roberts with you. It's Wisconsin's Midday News on a Tuesday regarding the current status of negotiations with Iran. President Trump on Monday calling the ceasefire in place, quote, on life support after Iran delivered its counterproposal for a peace deal over the weekend. Trump called that peace deal a piece of garbage. Still, the president said his plan to bring the conflict to an end is still in play. We welcome in CBS's Linda Kenyon from the nation's capital. Linda, is it clear if there is any actionable definition of what life support actually means for this ceasefire? Trying to figure out what could happen on the ground if negotiations fall apart.
Yeah. Well, the president did use some very strong words when he did refer to telling reporters yesterday that the Iran's proposal was, as he put it, a piece of garbage. He said it was so bad he wasn't even going to continue to read through the entire proposal. He wasn't even going to waste his time, essentially. So, it's fragile, I guess, at best. And the president, who's going to China very soon, he might be leaving here from the White House South Lawn in a matter of hours, originally postponed his trip to China because he cited the war against Iran. But now he's going. But in terms of the ceasefire and in terms of ending the war, he calls Iran's proposal a piece of garbage, which also includes, by the way, a demand from Iran that the U.S. end its blockade of the Strait, and also that the commerce be reopened, and that the issue of the nuclear material, the enriched uranium, be revisited during a course of 30 days of negotiations after the other conditions are met. The president clearly not happy.
Linda, how has it been for reporters, your colleagues such as you and yourself, covering the war in terms of access? I've been seeing reporting these last few days that Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche could be going after subpoenas targeting records of reporters who worked on these sensitive national security stories. We've seen Secretary Pete Hegseth go after reporters who are casting the president and the war effort in not favorable light. Is that still the case at this point?
The president does like to lash out at reporters if he sees a report that he disagrees with or finds in some ways very unfavorable. This morning, for example, he went after the New York Times for a piece on the cost of refurbishing the reflecting pool in Washington, D.C., and other renovations that the president has been supporting, and even dealing with the ballroom, for example, which he said was private financing, but now may actually be public financing if a bill passes through Congress. What this does is the president has from day one been very outspoken when he doesn't like reporters either personally or professionally. He does tend to call us names and various disagreeable things. He does like to yell at us. He does. The White House press secretary also will sometimes throw out less than complimentary statements about us, to put it mildly. What this does
is, yes, it makes it unpleasant, but it does also, in some days, some occasions, have what we call the chilling effect, which means that if you know you're going to be attacked for asking a question or doing your job, essentially, then maybe you're not going to ask that question or do your job quite the same way the next time. And so what that does is it just doubles our resolve to continue to do our job so that we don't get caught up in that chilling effect, because we have a job to do, and that is to tell the American people what their government is doing.
So the president is scheduled to arrive in Beijing on Wednesday. Linda, you mentioned he could be leaving in a couple of hours here from the South Lawn. So what is the purpose of the trip? Is there a singular purpose or dual purpose?
I think we could probably say more than a dual purpose. This is going to be the first visit to China by a U.S. president in about a decade. And the agenda is very much stacked in terms of trade issues. The president's trade tariffs. The U.S. and China have been in a little bit of a trade détente, if you will. The president slapping trade tariffs on China during what he referred to as his Liberation Day news conference, when he announced tariffs against almost every country in the world. He also had some tariffs in place against China during his first term in office. He's also interested in discussing China's controls on some rare earth minerals on top of this very rocky trade relationship. And then, of course, the fact that China has a very strong business relationship with Iran. China purchases a huge amount of oil from Iran. The president hopes to use that to convince China's President Xi that he has leverage when it comes to trying to pressure Iran to I guess capitulate might be a strong word, but try to pressure Iran to end the war. And as we discussed at the top of this conversation, that's going to be no easy task.
And the president won't be traveling alone either, Linda. Do we know who's expected to join him as part of his delegation?
Well, the president has taken some flack for adding a number of business executives to his delegation, because this has now become a businessman's trip as opposed to a presidential trip. But this president was elected in part because he is a businessman, and he does see everything through the lens of business. So joining him on this trip will be top executives from Tesla, including Elon Musk, and from Apple, including Tim Cook and some others. And I will also point out that many of these are the same people who have contributed to President Trump's funding for the White House ballroom.
Linda, before we let you go, the president is endorsing a temporary suspension of the federal gas tax that could save about 18 cents per gallon of unleaded. Are lawmakers in the nation's capital working to expedite the process with legislation that could ultimately lead to this, or are they kind of holding steady right now?
Right now they're holding steady, but I would not be surprised, since it's a Republican-controlled House and Senate, that we would see that there would be some movement on that front. The president has downplayed the latest consumer price index report, which showed that prices went up a steep 3.8% last month, largely due to the war against Iran, and that has affected gas prices. And when gas and oil prices go up, the price of pretty much everything goes up, and there's is why we are seeing these, increases in pretty much everything. The president released a statement this morning. I don't know if you were able to hear that, but the president's helicopter is about to land on the South Lawn of the White House to pick him up and take him to China. Well, actually take him to Alaska first, and then from there, to the Andrews Air Force Base, and then to Alaska. But what I was going to say is that a statement from the White House that was released this morning in response to those higher gas prices was that President Trump, this is a quote, has always been clear about temporary disruptions as a result of Operation Epic Fury. So he's saying it's temporary, but at the same time, to lower the pain at the pump, if you will, lowering the federal gas tax would help with that. At the same time, though, the federal gas tax is used for a very important purpose, and that is roads, bridges, and other U.S. infrastructure, your interstate highways, for example. And so cutting the funding for that would probably have a not so favorable long-term effect on the traveling public.
CBS's Linda Kenyon from the nation's capital. Linda, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. 12:23. It's kind of interesting, right? You hear the little thing. By the way, the helicopter's about to land, and here we go. It's off and running for the president. Yeah, kind of a dual-purpose trip. China is certainly well invested with Iran when it comes to oil. And then you've got significant business opportunities as well with China, as we have discussed. In fact, Apple has made some concessions since Trump took over to do more of its manufacturing of components of iPhone and other things here in the United States versus entirely overseas. So a dual-purpose trip, maybe a multi-purpose trip for the president heading off. He's expected to land in Beijing on Wednesday. 12:24 on WTMJ. Just getting started here. Wisconsin's Midday News is with you till 3 o'clock. Check us out, our podcast page. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast. You can also hop into our studio here and watch us on YouTube. Text WATCH to our talk and text line, 855-616-1620. See what's going on in the studio, or just hop to our YouTube page and be a part of our show each and every day. It's 12:24.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Hey, thanks, Sandy. Hey, our closet, master closet, to be more specific, at our house had become kind of a disaster. Build-A-grade racking, nothing seemed to stay folded or where we wanted it. Anytime we decluttered, it felt more like we were just moving stuff around, so the mess never really left. Well, thankfully, Inspired Closets Milwaukee helped us. We needed help, and Inspired Closets Milwaukee came in with a beautiful design idea, put to paper after they took some measurements and talked about what we wanted, what we were looking for, what our goals in the project were. Inspired Closets Milwaukee will do the same for you. It's a wife and husband team, Katie and Dan, that take pride in removing the clutter, making sure every place has a level of organization that maybe you're not feeling it right now. That was our master closet for sure. In fact, our pantry's starting to get a little unruly, I've noticed. They'll help you out with all those spaces, laundry room, mud room, you name it. Front hall closet, linen closet, anything that needs an organizational touch falls right into the world of Inspired Closets Milwaukee. Their showroom is right in the Brookfield-Waukesha area, not too far from Gerke's Corner. Stop in, and if you've got a project with them, you can actually put on the virtual reality glasses like we did. We got to walk the space. We got to see how things were laid out, the spacing of it. I could do pretty much everything except open a drawer. Gave us peace of mind before the final installation of our master closet. Still looks great today. Was installed a few months ago. Clean, organized, clutter-free. Thanks to InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
When it's time to explore assisted living, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association to promote whereyouLiveMatters.org. I'm Mike from the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association. For over 30 years, our organization of more than 2,000 facility members has led through advocacy, education, and support to help advance quality care. That's why Wisconsin families trust WALA. When it's time to search for assisted living for yourself or a loved one, visit whereyouLiveMatters.org.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know you do things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can easily find the products you need and trust at unbeatable prices? During our spring fencing sale, save 10% on treated wood fence posts. Rewards members save 15%. Save $200 on the Hobart Handler 210 MVP MIG welder. And your choice of KT auto darkening welding helmets, $69.99. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
The news you need to know every weekday on Wisconsin's Morning News starting at 6 a.m.
Hackers have breached Canvas.
We use Canvas just for basically all our classes.
8,000 institutions, including the UW system, are customers of this site.
Every company's worried about this because it only takes one person in your organization to click on a phishing thing. One of the things they use is they create that sense of immediacy.
Only here on WTMJ. Watch the show every day on YouTube and on WTMJ.com.
And now about your house. It's where you live, but do you also live in your yard? My friends at Outdoor Living Unlimited help people extend their home, living beyond the wall. Your imagination may be somewhat limited, so let's call on Eric Brown, president of Outdoor Living Unlimited, to expand upon it.
I'm confident that 90% of the listeners can look outside their home and dream of a better, nicer, way more outstanding backyard. If you're one of the many, you'll need to call Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited's expert team can design a beautiful, functional, usable backyard space. Then our team can build it. You dream it, we build it. New deck, outdoor kitchen, pavers, retaining walls, screen room. How about a must-see automated pergola that doubles as a screen room? Picture this, a pergola that allows the sunlight through the slats, but with the press of a button, those slats close and now you have protection. Another press of the button and the screens roll down. There's your screen room. The ideas are endless. We recently built a brand new deck with a screen room pergola on top and stairs that lead to a paver oasis complete with a fire pit and seat walls. Amazing. New deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, automated pergola. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited design and build the amazing backyard. Find us at OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
See all the cool things that Outdoor Living Unlimited can do for your yard on their Instagram page, or visit their unique outside-in showroom in Waukesha. And if you're looking outside of your home, dreaming of a more beautiful and functional, usable backyard, well, Outdoor Living Unlimited can design and build you an amazing showstopper of a deck, patio, complete with pergola and fire pit, just like they did for us. With expert care, Outdoor Living Unlimited installed a beautiful paver patio, complete with land and stone retaining wall, all sorts of space, room for a built-in kitchen, and complete with a gas fire pit. It's where we spend all of our time. Visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com. It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, May 12th. Your top story, a train collision leaves employees injured.
I'm Adam Roberts. Beagles finding a new home here in southeast Wisconsin.
Scattered showers today, breezy and warm, eventually getting up to 74, wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. No ceasefire deal in sight yet between the U.S. and Iran. Today, President Trump heads to China for meetings with China's leader. Iran will loom large in talks. CEOs are also heading there. ABC's Karen Travers has details.
He will be traveling there with several American CEOs from big companies here, including Tim Cook, Elon Musk. So it shows that there is a very big focus on the business and investment side. The president loves coming away from these types of meetings, touting U.S. investment with countries. And we'll see what he has to show for it in a couple of days.
The Senate confirming Kevin Warsh to serve as a member of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors by a vote of 51 to 45. It will be a 14-year term as chair. Senator John Fetterman, the only Democrat to vote on the board confirmation. The Federal Reserve Board of New York released data showing household debt for Americans reaching an all-time high of $18.8 trillion in the first 3 months of this year, driven by balances on mortgages and auto loans. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:31.
A collision between a train and a Union Pacific vehicle in Milwaukee sends 4 employees to the hospital. Union Pacific tells WTMJ it happened about 9:30 this morning at the Butler Rail Yard near 119th and Hampton. No details available on the condition of those who were injured, nor the cause of the crash.
A dumpster fire damaging part of a downtown Fond du Lac building yesterday evening around 6 o'clock at 18 Forest Avenue. Several dumpsters were found on fire with flames and smoke spreading into that building. Firefighters were able to stop the blaze from spreading further. No injuries were reported. The cause is under investigation.
A warm welcome for beagles transitioning from a breeding and research facility to forever homes.
Ridgeland 43. 43? People are foster.
About 20 beagles rescued from Ridgeland Farms arrive at the Wisconsin Humane Society's Milwaukee campus. After a quick vet assessment, many have gone home with foster families. In Waukesha, the Humane Animal Welfare Society is receiving about 24 beagles this evening. Jennifer Smia tells WTMJ.
We're also going to be doing quite a bit of behavior evals. We want to make sure that all the dogs are set up for success in their future adoptive homes.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The future of Wauwatosa City Hall and the Milwaukee Suburbs Public Library will be under closer inspection this evening.
City officials will lay out 4 possible concepts for renovating and updating the building at tonight's Committee of the Whole meeting. The options range from basic upgrades to more extensive plans that include larger community spaces, improved accessibility, and energy-efficient designs. City leaders say the project has been in discussion for more than a decade, with some parts of the building dating back to the 1950s. No vote will happen tonight, but public input is expected throughout the summer. A final decision could come later this year. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Well, the United States is entering its decade of sports tourism, and it all begins with the FIFA World Cup next month, with planning led by a former Milwaukee Bucks executive. Alex Lasry is CEO of the New York, New Jersey Host Committee. He tells WTMJ.
You've got the Olympics in 2028. I think the Rugby World Cup is coming here. You've then also got the Women's World Cup in 2031. There's a Winter Olympics in 2034.
Lasry says these are chances for the United States to show off its hosting capabilities as the bidding to host world sporting events becomes more competitive.
Speaking of sports, back from an off day, the Crew going for 5 in a row tonight. Sports traffic and weather next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
Sponsored by Redo Cabinets. Don't replace this spring. Reface.
I'm Mark Olson with Redo Cabinets. Redo Cabinets is a family business serving homeowners for over 70 years. Now we're in Milwaukee and ready to share with homeowners the benefits of refacing and not replacing those old kitchen cabinets. At Redo Cabinets, we use premium cabinet facings made right here in the USA. You select from dozens of colors, styles, hardware choices, and accessories. And during our Memorial Day event, you could get big savings. 50% off installation of a kitchen remodeling project and a free sink and faucet. Plus, no payments and no interest until 2027. That's right, 2027. Incredible savings. Redo Cabinets, 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417. Or visit us at redocabinets.com. That's redocabinets.com. Serving homeowners for over 70 years in Illinois and Wisconsin. Don't replace, reface with Redo Cabinets.
The first thing I thought about is, what am I going to do?
Peggy and Willie were injured when a driver ran a stop sign.
I was injured pretty bad, and they reached out to me and made sure that I got the medical attention that I needed to make that recovery. One call, that was all, and everything went well.
Here for you 24/7. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Eggland's Best. The only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
You can't beat Berghardt.
Sports lovers love us.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update. From the Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all sports desk. The Brewers welcome in the San Diego Padres, another first-place team in Milwaukee. Brewers carrying a 4-game winning streak after that sweep of the Yankees.
They're one of the best teams in baseball. Look at their lineup. Look at what they've done. Look at their record. They've done well against us over the last 3 years, and we'll have a big challenge.
Brewers manager Pat Murphy. Brandon Sproat gets the start of Game 1 tonight. Coverage gets underway at 6:05. The complete international NFL schedule will be revealed on Wednesday. Today, the NFL releases a Monday Night Football opener. It'll be the Broncos and Chiefs. Location to be determined, squaring off in the first Monday Night Football contest of the season. Amazon Prime Video's Thursday Night Football coverage kicks off with the Bills breaking in their new stadium against the Lions.
Let's check the roads now. Your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We've still got backups from this earlier crash around 4145 heading south at Silver Spring. Already down from 3 lanes to 2 thanks to construction. Now we're down to just the center lane on 4145 as work continues. On the scene, we've got crews working on, looks like the dividing wall between the grass and the freeway out there right by the overpass over Silver Spring. So you'll have backup stretching all the way north towards Bradley Road to that crash site. Elsewhere, we've got some slow spots on 94 east and west between 27th and Mitchell Boulevard past the stadium. And then on 94 south as we still have road repairs going on. Anywhere from about National Avenue all the way south to Oklahoma will be a touch slow.
Some scattered showers about the area, mainly south of Milwaukee right now, though if you're up toward West Bend, a little pop on the radar here. Shouldn't last all that long. By mid-afternoon, it should be starting to clear up a little bit. We'll see temperatures warm up a little, up to 74. Wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. Showers eventually coming to an end with gradual clearing and an overnight low of 43. It's 55 and spotty showers in Milwaukee at 12:38. Of this 162-game season, and coming off a sweep of the Yankees, something I don't believe Adam has ever seen in all of his time covering the Milwaukee Brewers. Adam joins us on the line right now. Greetings, Adam.
Yeah, I was. Let's do the math here.
maybe fourth grade, the last time they swept the Yankees. So it's been a little bit. I wasn't covering the Brewers then.
That sounds about right, because that division, I mean, this is way before the wild card. There weren't as many divisions. Like, you had to win the division to get to the playoffs is kind of what it felt like. And the Brewers division back then was like the Yankees, Red Sox, Blue Jays, Tigers, Orioles, Brewers. It was a gauntlet. Like, how are you going to get through with that? You could win 90 games and not even sniff the postseason.
It's why when the Brewers got good, 1978 is the year they really took that huge leap forward. You know, they didn't get to the playoffs till 82. They had great teams for 5 years, and it was the Orioles were great at that time, late 70s, early 80s. And it was really hard to make it in. It's a different era and kind of a different – it's a different sort of challenge, I think. I mean, this is a totally different topic, but talking to Chris Hook about starting pitching, because if you look Brandon Sproat tonight, if he gets to the fifth, that's a good start. It's different the way they're attacking the problem of pitching these days. It's Chris Hook calls it the drag race style, where these guys go out and they kind of air it out for 4 or 5 innings, and then you go to your bullpen. The game changes, and it's certainly an era where pitching is a lot different now.
Yeah, you lead right into what I was going to ask you about, Adam. So I know wins maybe aren't held as high regard as, the late 70s or even 20 years ago. But when you look at the current wins leaders in Major League Baseball right now, the top 5, you have Davis Martin in Chicago, George Kirby, Seattle, Jose Soriano and the Angels, Chris Sale, it's a natural answer there at number 2. And then you have the Vulture himself, Aaron Ashby, with 2 wins in that Yankees series. How is his role continuing to develop out of the bullpen? And also, how did he get that nickname?
Well, the Vulture, I did not know this until I wrote about this today. And the Vulture, first Vulture, was Phil Regan, who pitched for the Dodgers, and it was his teammate Sandy Koufax who called him the Vulture, because Regan was a reliever who won 14 games, and I think it was 1966, and he would the idea of the Vulture is it's the guy who swoops in and kind of steals away the win from the starting pitcher, and it's either a close game or, again, nowadays you have to get 5 innings by rule as a starting pitcher to qualify for the win. That's just rarer and rarer. So relievers are set up to pick up more victories in today's style of game. The Vulture that I remember here was Brent Suter, who had a year in 2021 where he was the first Brewers pitcher to get to double-digit wins, and his teammates let him have it, and there were T-shirts made up with this big Vulture on it. And Suter actually didn't like that idea. He kind of pushed back against it, but eventually he sort of succumbed, and he wore this T-shirt. And if you get the newsletter that's sent out by email today, there's this awesome picture of Suter doing his Suter thing with the Vulture T-shirt on. So now it's Ashby, and yes, when he walks in the clubhouse, he's getting bird called and guys, flapping their arms, and he is definitely hearing about it. And for his part, he doesn't love it because he thinks that the rules should be changed to better reward starting pitchers who are still doing heavy lifting, even if they're not going 7-8 innings anymore. That era it's just a different era. And he thinks they should change the rule that you don't have to do a minimum 5 innings. It should just be the rule now, if a starter doesn't go 5 innings, is that the official scorer gets to determine the most effective pitcher. He thinks that should just be the rule. So, and he said, if he does, I don't think he believes this is going to happen, but if he does somehow wind up as Major League Baseball's leader in wins by the end of the season, he says the fastest way to fast track this rule change is for that to happen. So I think he's rooting for that to happen and not rooting for that to happen at the same time.
So Bryce Terang's star continues to rise here, Adam, right? He got put on the national map, I think probably more so with the World Baseball Classic, but then he hit a walk-off against the Yankees on Mother's Day, and then you get Aaron Judge, a legitimate star in the league, saying this about you.
Yeah, he was hitting the ball farther than me in BP. It was really impressive. So, he's one of a kind, man. I wish we had him on this team. It's just, I think you could ask all 30 teams, all 29 other teams, they wish they had him in this clubhouse.
I wish we had him on this team. I think some Brewers fans look at that like, yeah, it's our guy. And then you look at it and say, oh, no, it's the Yankees. He could end up on that team at some point. It does bring to light, how the Brewers kind of go about their business. You look hard at their top prospects. There are a lot of infielders there, right? Bryce Terang, he's, I think, under control for another couple of years with arbitration, but the idea of Bryce Terang on the Yankees, I don't want to see that anytime soon because of where his star is, but I also understand how the Brewers do business.
Yeah, I think another way to look at that is to scream tampering, because it sounds like Aaron Judge is trying to lay the groundwork for a future run at Bryce Terang. I don't know if I know that's not what he was trying to say. He was trying to compliment a guy who he really came to like a lot when he was playing with him in the World Baseball Classic. Bryce Terang has taken that quantum leap that Pat Murphy talked about those years ago. And if you look at his career, it's a reminder that it takes a while for some guys to kind of get there. Bryce Terang statistically was the worst hitter in the major leagues his rookie season. And he's gotten better each year to the point where now he's, arguably the Brewers' best player. I don't know if that's even arguable, really. He is really super valuable. He's very, very good. He is on a trajectory to, shop himself to the Yankees in a couple of years. And Aaron Judge was super complimentary. And, Aaron Judge was cool. He is, people have seen him, I'm sure, and he's a very genuine, humble kind of guy. And he really spoke highly of Terang, and he loved what he saw from Jacob Mizorowski. He said it was one of the best fastballs he's ever seen. And just think about for Mizorowski and Terang what it means to have a guy who's as respected in the game as Aaron Judge, as accomplished, to say those types of things. I mean, it's why Pat Murphy was so excited for Terang to go to the World Baseball Classic, because things like that make a player feel like, look, I belong here. I can do this. And that is a huge part of the battle in this sport.
You refer to that Mother's Day series with Terang and the walk-off. Also on Mother's Day, an emotional day for one Blake Perkins with that big 2-out, 2-run single early in the game, capping the rally, but also Perkins' first Mother's Day game without his mom since her passing. You saw inside that locker room, Adam. How did they rally around Blake both before, during, and then after that emotional day?
I think it was the best part of the day. I think it meant, more to a lot of people who know Blake Perkins and what he's been through, almost in the walk-off win. Like, that was the moment that a lot of people will remember from that day. He had a horrible year last year. Remember, he fouled a pitch in live BP off his shin and broke his shin, and they thought it was going to be a couple of weeks, and for whatever reason, it just wouldn't. It was so stubborn about healing, and it meant that he was home, kind of dragging in his rehab, and his mother was diagnosed with colon cancer. He's from the area there in Phoenix, so the silver lining was he got to be home with his mom. But 4 months later, she was gone, and he didn't tell anybody. He kind of had family and friends around him, obviously, but he didn't tell teammates. He didn't want to burden them. He didn't want to change the vibes, which were very good by the time the Brewers got to the summer last year. And then he finally did let the team in on what happened towards the end in the playoffs, and exactly what you expect to happen happened. They all rallied around him. He's a very, very quiet guy, a very solid defender, a good player, a player that all the teammates really respect, and he just didn't want to trouble anybody. But, look, it's just like those of us who are lucky to have good coworkers and certainly good family and friends. It's like you want to be burdened when people are going through something like that because you want to be there for them. And I think that's how his teammates have looked at it since knowing what Perk has been through. And look, this year has also been tough. He was shocked to not be on the opening day roster. Then he got called up right away when Churio got hurt. Then he got demoted again, only to get called right back when Brandon Lockridge got hurt. So he's just been yo-yoed back and forth. He's trying to gain a little confidence. And I think his teammates certainly hope that moment on Mother's Day, with all it meant to him, is the sort of thing that can get a guy going, because he could be very valuable to this team while Lockridge is down, which looks like it's going to be a while because of the way Perkins switch hits. He plays great defense. He could really help out if he can get going.
So, Adam, quick update on Christian Yelich and Quinn Priester. Where are they in terms of rehab and potential return to the Major League club?
Quinn Priester is saying he's having good progress. He's throwing bullpens, but I think they're going to be really patient. They want to get a good foundation under him before he goes off again to avoid what happened when he began his first rehab and the walks were out of control. Yelich is getting close. He's been running on the field. He's been taking BP on the field. He is not a guy who likes to go on rehab assignment. You can imagine the hullabaloo when you're Christian Yelich and you try to go to Appleton or you try to go to Nashville, he'd rather avoid that and just get live at-bats against teammates before coming back. So that looks very close. Pat Murphy said even before the end of this homestand, if not, potentially on this next road trip.
Good stuff, Adam. We'll check out your work tonight following the game. Brewers take on the Padres. Game one of a 3-game series tonight. Another first-place team here in Milwaukee. Great stuff, Adam. We'll check in again next week. Thank you.
See you guys.
It is 12:49 at WTMJ.
This is Bo from Ridgetop Exteriors. Your home should be the one place that you feel completely comfortable and safe. But old, drafty windows can steal that feeling. At Ridgetop Exteriors, we bring that peace of mind back. As Wisconsin's leading Pella Premier contractor, we install beautiful, secure windows and doors that can save you up to 40% on your energy bills. Get a home full of new Pella windows for as low as $198 a month. Learn more at ridgetopexteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Hey, who loves pizza and a refreshing drink with that pizza? I know I do. Well, this deal's got you covered. Get $2 off Connie's Thin Crust Frozen Pizza at Pick and Save and Metro Market stores when you pair it up with a 6-pack of Bubbler Sparkling Water. How about that? Connie's and Bubbler going to save you money. Perfect pairing for weeknights, game nights, entertaining, whatever you got going on in your household. Save instantly with your card. You don't need a coupon here. Limit 1 per bundle per customer. It's while supplies last, now through the end of the day today. Only look for the Connie's and Bubbler combo and save instantly at the checkout at Pick and Save and Metro Market stores. Made by Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza, making the best frozen pizza you will find and taste for 60 years.
Struggling to provide for your family is a real thing, like having to choose between feeding them a warm meal or paying the utility bill. These are the choices many Milwaukee residents are faced with, which is why they turn to St. Vincent de Paul Society's meal program for help. Our meal program has been a consistent resource for those in need for over 42 years. Nutritious meals, warm showers, and clean clothes, all in a safe, family-friendly environment. Our mission is clear, and that's to help you break the cycle of poverty by connecting you with life-changing community and educational resources. Last year, we provided $2.2 million in goods and services, plus 57,000 warm meals. If you or anyone you know needs a warm evening meal, you can find us at Harambe Kitchen 5 nights a week on the northeast side of Milwaukee in the basement of All People's Church. And at Crossroads Kitchen on the south side of Milwaukee 6 nights a week on 9th and Madison. As always, we're grateful for community members and volunteers who help us help you. To learn more, visit svdpmilw.org.
If you've been dreaming about refreshing a room or even your whole home, Steinhoffels can make it so much easier. With their Decorating Solutions program, you'll work with a designer who really listens, understands your style, and helps create a space you truly love. They can guide you on colors, layouts, furniture, even those little finishing touches that make a room feel completely yours. So if you're ready to fall in love with your home all over again, check out Steinhoffel's Decorating Solutions today.
Spring is in full swing at Tyson's. Shop our latest spring deals now through May 12th. Plan your perfect patio with savings on furniture, decor, fire pits, solar lighting, and more. All patio furniture and lawn and garden decor is 15% off. Save $20 on a 36-inch USA flag fire pit and save $130 on a Flower House swinging chair. Shop our weekly deals and more at your local Tyson store or online at tysons.com now through May 12th.
Acunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
At Wisconsin's own Acunet Mortgage, our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the banks or the mortgage guys with the Rocket for exactly the same rate. Find out how much you can save at accunet.com.
Spotty showers today, eventually warming up to 74, wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. Overnight low in the mid-40s. Tomorrow should see a good deal of sun with a high of 62. 56, some spotty showers in the vicinity of downtown Milwaukee at 12:52. Well, the results are in. We Energies has revealed its top names in the Peregrine Falcon Chicken Naming Contest. So they've had, 6 of these things born, and you got 3 more that are pretty close here. They're expected to hatch early next week. So what We Energies did, very smartly, was offer a naming contest here where people could vote on the name of the chicks that are hatched, and then they took news anchors and TV people, weathermen and women, the likes of myself and Jessica, and they put them all into a hopper here, and he had a voting contest, and now the results are in. So it looks like they've got 9 names picked. So these were the top 9 vote getters, and representing WTMJ, Flown Mercure in honor of John Mercure. One of the chicks that have been hatched will be named after our own John Mercure. With special announcement here for Brian Nestnansky. He will also have one named after him. What a win for these two gentlemen.
No, absolutely. And I'm sure if you are getting ready to listen to Wisconsin's afternoon news later today, that will only make up maybe about 50% of the run of show. We'll just then be talking about John's big win today.
A special announcement here for Steve Scafidi, or Steve Scatweedy. He's a runner-up.
That's a good one.
So if there are more eggs that end up being hatched, then they go to the runners-up. So Steve is on that. So is Vitrano, Vince Falcono. Not exactly a tight name, but Egg Matzik did not get anywhere near this, I don't believe, but it was just a pleasure to be nominated.
Absolutely, and that's always really what it's all about. And the birds are being born. I had a chance to I checked out the Port Washington camera about a week ago when the little babies were being born. Mom was being very protective, but it's always just a nice thing to have on in the background. And wouldn't you know it, right up here on our TVs in the studio now, they are honoring Brian Nestnansky as one of the winners.
Oh, yes, and there you go. Yeah, just in time here for just before the 1 o'clock news hit. So, yes, there's going to be a banding ceremony. They get identification bands sometime next week. I don't know if Niz and Mercure will be attending that, or if they get to put the bands on. There's got to be something in there for them.
I heard word from John in the newsroom that if there is anything like that any of the winners are being invited to, he will be first on the RSVP list.
Well, there you go. And maybe a free sub or something like that. Well, congratulations to everyone. And again, it was just an honor to be nominated. It's 12:55.
Streaming services, retail chains, and tech giants are all adding Plus to their names. It's fairly obvious they were inspired by Hasseless mattress. Hasseless showrooms are employee-free, plus unbeatable prices on Tempur-Pedic, plus free next-day delivery, plus 60-month interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic with approved credit, plus a $300 MasterCard gift card with your Tempur-Pedic mattress. Maybe we should change our name to Hasseless Plus. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasseless.com.
Founded by inventors, fueled by community, focused on business. Greg Matzik here for Horicon Bank. Such wonderful people and an incredible business. First opened its doors back in 1896 for people going to work here in the state of Wisconsin, people who are starting up a business in the state of Wisconsin. Horicon Bank still provides the same great service with financing requests that be approved in days and not weeks. Your banker at Horicon understands you and how your business operates. Service and products go hand in hand. Horicon Bank is expanding. You've probably noticed branches popping up over the last couple of years in New Berlin and Wauwatosa, Menominee Falls, and Grafton and West Bend. They are still the same wonderful people with the same goals in mind, helping you and getting that business off the ground, growing, meeting its cash flow needs. Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. And member FDIC.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
Day after day, year after year, the heavy lifting, the repetitive motion, and now your body feels it. Your back, your knees, your quality of life.
At Access Legal, we stand up for people worn down by work.
Workers' comp is our sole focus, and our team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers. From sudden accidents to pain that builds over years of hard work, we're dedicated to fighting for the benefits you're entitled to. If you've been worn down by work, contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation.
Search AXIS Legal today.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
The Crew take on the Dodgers Friday, May 22nd through Sunday the 24th. Join Boy Band Night on Friday the 22nd, presented by Wintrust. Grab a theme night ticket for a Brew Crew Boys t-shirt and stay for post-game fireworks presented by T-Mobile. Then on Saturday, the first 25,000 fans collect a patriotic Brewers hat. Close it out with Family Sunday fun as the first 5,000 kids 14 and under get a Brewers pennant on the 24th, courtesy of Joy. Grab your seats at Brewers.com.
You should be listening to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty each weekday.
This is a deep cut. I like this song. I'm gonna buy this song, so tell me what it is.
Nobody does it like McFarlane. It's AI generated 90s R&B featuring our favorite Chief Washington correspondent. It's you, buddy.
But if you missed us, catch up anytime with our Wisconsin's Midday News podcast, powered by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Storm Fisher with Storm Fisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Osaic Advisory Services LLC. Osaic Advisory. Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, and services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory.
Celebrate a birthday, anniversary, or retirement this week with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill. Buy one dinner, get one free, 7 nights a week. Google Fox and Hounds restaurant and enjoy your free dinner.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
San Diego likes to stay on Pacific time. But here in Milwaukee, we're right on
being set. Here's the throw from Perkins. It is going to be in time! Game over!
The Brewers take on the San Diego Padres tonight at American Family Field. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 1 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, May 12th. Your top story, felony charges in the death of a public safety officer.
I'm Adam Roberts. The president departing for China.
Scattered showers today, breezy and warm, high 74, wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. Showers eventually ending later this afternoon, gradual clearing tonight, and a low of 43. 56 with rain in the vicinity of downtown Milwaukee at 1 o'clock. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, charges filed in the death of a longtime Milwaukee County public safety officer. 29-year-old Princeton Underwood faces 5 felonies, including first-degree intentional homicide in the death of 56-year-old Dennis Johnson. According to a criminal complaint, Underwood pointed a gun at Johnson, his passenger, and 2 children as they drove away from 12th and Locust. Underwood then followed the car and shot Johnson through the window. He died on the scene from injuries. If convicted, Underwood faces life in prison.
Milwaukee leaders remembering today a trailblazer in medicine and civil rights. Dr. William Finlayson, one of the first black physicians to practice in Milwaukee hospitals, has died at the age of 101 years old. Alderman Russell Stamper at today's Common Council meeting says Finlayson's impact will be lasting.
Dr. Finlayson was a leader and legend in this city, delivering over 10,000 babies in Milwaukee.
Beyond medicine, Finlayson played a role in the civil rights movement in the city, helping to launch Milwaukee's first black-owned bank. A memorial service is expected to be announced in the coming days.
Democrats and Republicans grilling Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth as the Trump administration looks to secure a record $1.5 trillion budget. Hegseth facing criticism from both sides of the aisle about the war in Iran. News Nation's Hannah Brandt.
Some clear concern expressed about the direction of this conflict and certainly the cost. The Pentagon now estimating this price tag at $29 billion, which is up from the $25 billion that the Pentagon officials said they believed it costed when they were here 2 weeks ago. And that's not even to mention this supplemental funding request that lawmakers are expecting the Pentagon to make to carry out the rest of the cost of the war.
Hegseth telling lawmakers the goal of the war is to end Iran's nuclear plans.
Happening right now, President Donald Trump speaking with reporters on the White House front lawn ahead of his impending trip to China for a summit with Chinese President Xi.
This is the first visit to China by a U.S. president in nearly a decade and comes amid the U.S. war against Iran. President Trump had originally planned to travel to China several weeks ago, but postponed the trip, citing the war. Now, as the president travels amid a stated ceasefire, He plans to use this trip to discuss a wide range of issues, including trade and tariffs. In addition, the U.S. relationship with Taiwan and China's rare earth minerals are on the agenda. At the same time, Trump is expected to urge President Xi to exert pressure on Iran to end the war. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
And AAA says Memorial Day travel is expected to remain busy across the state of Wisconsin despite higher costs of travel.
The organization projects more than 843,000 Wisconsinites will travel at least 50 miles from home over the holiday weekend. Most travelers are expected to drive, while about 44,000 people are projected to fly. AAA says gas prices are higher than they were this time last year, leading some travelers to shorten trips or stay closer to home. Nationally, AAA expects nearly 45 million Americans to travel over Memorial Day weekend. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
News about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The latest inflation report puts inflation at a 3-year high in the U.S., and stocks responding in kind this afternoon. Down across the board, the Dow is actually only off about 7 points right now, but the NASDAQ really feeling it, off about 1.5% on the day, down 365 points, and the S&P 500 is off about 0.5%, 41 points in the red this afternoon. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite, details at annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:04.
I'm not against shopping online. In fact, you can check out our huge selection at BurkhartSportingGoods.com. But when you're ready to buy, Burkhart should be your only stop. Because here, you can grab hold of the Midwest's largest selection of baseball bats, gloves, and equipment, and take all the swings you need in our indoor batting cages to make sure you buy the right bat. And when you buy your new mitt, we'll steam and custom fit it for you right on the spot. This is Brian Burkhart, and when you love baseball and softball like we do, you can't beat Burkhart. If you're in charge of uniforms and equipment, you want to get the most value for your team's budget. You want the most for your money, and you want the process to be easy. Because you already have enough on your plate. We get it. Burkhart Sporting Goods Team Outfitting Division is the best you'll find. With an abnormally high customer satisfaction rate and our own silk screening and embroidery facility for quality control. So if you want the highest quality team outfitting and incredible service, you can't beat Burkhart.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Winners of 4 straight, Pat Murphy's Brewers are inching closer to full health.
We're feeling a little bit better about ourselves. We still got to get healthy. Priester threw a simulated game the other day, and he's on his way. Yelich took some at-bats, so he's on his way. We still have a few other guys that need to get healthy, and Woody, obviously. Hopefully we'll get on all cylinders and start playing consistent.
Brewers homestand continues tonight with Game 1 of a 3-game series against the Padres. Coverage gets underway at 6:05. As the NBA Scouting Combine continues in Chicago, the Bucks are working a parallel path with roster scenarios that include Giannis and scenarios that don't. ESPN's Shams Charania believes Giannis is ready to leave Milwaukee.
Any conversation that the Bucks are going to have with Giannis Antetokounmpo, from my understanding, it's going to be a very simple one. Do you want to stay here and commit long-term in June? The answer, from all accounts, is going to be no. And at that point, the question is going to be, where does Giannis want to go?
Bucks are expected to have clarity on Giannis' future in Milwaukee before night 1 of the NBA draft, scheduled for June 23rd.
Let's get back to the roads now. Your WTMJ time saver traffic. It is still a slog going on 4145 south right now near Silver Spring. We got the right shoulder block. There was a crash around 11 o'clock this morning, and crews are still working on things, though traffic is is trying to work its way through in that center lane still. The backups have been pretty consistently starting right around the Milwaukee-Waukesha County line as you work your way south of Bradley Road. Then they clear up once you get past that crashed site. Northbound 4145 has eased up quite a bit. We had those delays earlier around North Avenue up to Capitol. Now just between Capitol and Hampton, you'll be a light tap on the brakes there. Still some delays heading out of the high-rise bridge 94 south towards about Lincoln Avenue right now will just be a little bit slow as those road repairs are continuing. Speaking of road repairs, plenty of them still 94 east and west between 27th and Mitchell Boulevard as you drive past the stadium.
Traffic is sponsored by the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, supporting communities and residents through advocacy, education, and service. Where you live matters. Get the answers you and your family need about assisted living in Wisconsin. Start with clear, trusted guidance by visiting whereyouLiveMatters.org today.
From TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Lauren Larson with your 5-day Storm Team forecast. The chance for scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms lasts overnight, but clears out about midnight. Temperatures only falling into the low 40s. For Wednesday, it will be a bit cooler. Highs in the upper 50s with some clouds to start, some gusty northerly winds, and then some sunshine by the evening. Still a cool and cloudy day on Thursday with highs only in the mid-50s, but warmer as we track another chance for rain and thunderstorms on Friday. Highs make it to the mid-70s and plenty of warmth in store for us this weekend. I'm meteorologist Lauren Larson with TMJ4.
56 degrees, some spotty showers in Milwaukee at 109.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik, and in for Jessica Ty, it's Adam Roberts.
Jessica on vacation this week. Adam in for Jessica today. We're back again tomorrow. Brewers baseball on Thursday. Should be a fun series here for the Brewers, beginning with the Padres. So another first-place team comes to Milwaukee. The Yankees came to Milwaukee a first-place team. They left a second-place team.
We'll
the
do
Padres, exact same thing could happen here, pending the results of this 3-game series.
Been a real gauntlet to start the first 6 or so weeks of the season. Brewers getting a lot of competition and good competition and playing in arguably, well, not arguably, the best division in baseball. The NL Central is hot right now.
Our coverage gets underway tonight at 6:05.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number one, officials in Denver identifying a man who scaled an airport fence and walked onto the runway in front of a departing Frontier Airlines jet last week Friday.
Denver's chief medical examiner says her office has identified the man as 41-year-old Michael Mott, and it's been determined it was suicide when he scaled an airport perimeter fence and walked in front of a Frontier Airlines plane departing for Los Angeles. Denver Airport CEO Phil Washington.
It took approximately 15 seconds for this person to jump over the 8-foot fence topped with barbed wire.
He says airport staff did get an intrusion alarm, but when they looked, they only saw a pack of deer outside the perimeter fence. Alex Stone, EBC News.
So Denver International Airport has 36 miles of perimeter fencing, and the majority of it is, roughly 10 to 12 feet high, and then you got the barbed wire on top, razor wire that's in spirals. Well, the guy was able to get through that really with no issue. And it was just a matter of a couple of minutes before or after he scaled the fence and hopped onto the runway that he was struck by that Frontier Airlines plane that was leaving at about 11:20 p.m. on Friday. The impact it was immediate. His death. They're now ruling it a suicide. He has been identified, but officials are now looking at this from a safety standpoint and wondering what else can you do here? Can you make that fence higher? Can you do something else to help trigger that alarm or alert if something breaches the fence and ends up on the runway?
Absolutely. Certainly a grisly scene as well. That thermal imaging spreading across social media would caution it is not for the faint of heart, but it is out there. Number 2, new details today as the investigation continues into how the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed, causing the death of 6 construction workers back in March of 2024. A new unsealed indictment today from the Department of Justice charging 3 defendants with conspiring to defraud the United States after the ship, the Dolly, knocked down that bridge and caused those deaths. Indictment alleging Synergy Marine, this is a company based out of Singapore, and Synergy Maritime, two separate organizations, the other based in India, along with a technical superintendent who had worked for both of those companies. The indictment alleges they willfully failed to immediately inform the Coast Guard of a known hazardous condition, the obstruction of an agency proceeding, and false statements as well. U.S. Attorney Kelly O'Hays for the District of Maryland.
The indictment alleges that if the Dolly had been using the proper fuel supply pumps, then the vessel would have regained power in time to safely navigate.
Yeah, that ship lost power twice before ultimately hitting the bridge and causing that really dramatic collapse in the middle of the night. By the way, that bridge still very much collapsed, and the freeway has not opened and will not be expected to open to traffic until at least 2030, and it is estimated to cost, according to the state of Maryland, north of $5 billion with a B to replace that bridge.
Number 3, inflation still getting the best of the United States economy.
In March, the Consumer Price Index surged 3.3% from the same month in 2025. Last month, inflation soared 3.8% year over year, showing prices at nearly a 3-year high. Taking out volatile food and energy costs still had consumers paying 2.8% more than they did in April of last year.
ABC's Jim Ryan. Kevin Warsh is now officially succeeding Jerome Powell as the Fed chair. He'll take over on May 15th, but the vote is in. Analysts from Bank of America and Barclays have scrapped their 2026 rate cut forecast, but traders do see a 98% probability that rates are going to stay where they are, remain unchanged at the June 17th meeting. Meanwhile, futures markets now price in a 30% chance of a rate hike by the end of 2026. 1:14 on WTMJ. College graduates going through their commencement ceremony and off to be an adult in the big world with a lot of changes, and scammers are taking notice. The latest, what you need to be aware of after this.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Hey, dog lovers, go where we go when we're looking for an afternoon to hang out with our pup, or if we just need to rely on doggy daycare, boarding, or grooming services. It's the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls. It's where we take our dog at night, who loves it there. Grooming treatments, we do those every 3 weeks, roughly. Boarding, daycare, also great options if we have a longer than expected workday or maybe trying to get out of town for a long weekend. We trust the staff at the Hounds and Tap. Leah and her team do an incredible job with all the pups. You'll see pictures of happy dogs on their Facebook page. Check it out. They update that frequently. They treat it like a daycare. You know that your dog is in great hands with the folks at the Hounds and Tap. Day in and day out. Want to hang out with your dog? No problem. They got a beautiful indoor-outdoor tavern at the Hounds and Tap, a 12,000-square-foot facility. The TVs will be on. You'll be able to watch the game, get something from the indoor-outdoor tavern bar, maybe even a food truck swinging through. Check it out, the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls. Wonderful events, wonderful people, a great business, really nothing like it. Your dog is going to love it. Visit thehoundsandtap.com.
Are you hosting an event, launching something new, wanting to get the word out about your part of the state? Be a featured guest on the WTMJ Experience Wisconsin show. Share your story, promote your event or business, and connect with fans all across the state. I'm John Merkier. I'd love to interview you. We reach listeners from Milwaukee to Madison, Green Bay to La Crosse, everywhere in between. It's Experience Wisconsin. Ready to shine a spotlight on your business or company? Email me, john@WTMJ.com for more information. john@WTMJ.com.
Well, it's kind of a blustery afternoon right now. Eventually, temperatures are going to warm up. It's supposed to be a high of 74 today. Might not get that till 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon, however. It's currently 57 and cloudy. Some spots of rain here, mainly south of Milwaukee.
Don't become a victim.
Scams on the rise.
A warning today. Watch out.
Be aware with the BBB.
Should I click on this? No.
On Wisconsin's Midday News.
Well, this year's collection of college graduates facing a whirlwind of change, relocating, you got job hunting, managing all sorts of new financial hurdles. Scammers are well aware of this, often targeting this group. Lisa Schiller with the BBB serving Wisconsin here to point out some common pitfalls. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, good to be here.
Hey, so what are the most common ways scammers are targeting college grads?
Oh, gosh. Well, we know scammers follow the news, right? So sad. I mean, all these great college grads out there. Congratulations to them all. But yeah, there's scams that we have to warn you about. First of all, student loan scams. So there's fake loan forgiveness opportunities out there floating around all the time. You might get an unsolicited email or a text message, even a phone call, letting you know that you can qualify for lowered payments through a debt relief or debt forgiveness program of some sort. And then, of course, all you have to do is fill out a form and give them all of your information, right? Your firstborn child.
Among other things, sometimes. It's so interesting when we think of typically scams, you always have the checklists in your brain that you run through, like at work, we run through things for phishing emails. But scammers are getting much more technically proficient now. What are some of the latest things we should be keeping our eyes out for with these specifically?
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as student loan forgiveness scams, when students see student loan forgiveness, they get excited like, oh my gosh, my money, I can maybe save a lot of money. And so they might, move forward with something. Obviously, if anybody asks you for any personal information, forget about it. Remember that if something is legitimate, you'll get a letter in the mail. It'll be on some type of, official documentation, letterhead. And a website will always end in .gov. So that's, one big red flag. If it doesn't end in .gov, forget about it. But, contact the Better Business Bureau. We can look into these things for you. You can check it out on bbb.org. See if what you received is legitimate.
Lisa, did scammers ever play the university angle, maybe suggesting that you've got unpaid fees, congratulations on graduating, but you still owe us some money? Did they ever take that angle, suggesting that the money should be paid, you still owe from tuition or book fees or something like that? You got to pay it by a certain amount of time?
Sure. I mean, I think that there is, no stone goes untouched, unturned by a scammer. Whatever works, they will do. And we don't see that as often as we see other scams. Like the one we just talked about, the student loan forgiveness. But sure, yeah, there are unsolicited messages regarding tuition and, other fees related to college or the university, for sure.
On that front, what about the alumni angle, too? Because I'm still, to this day, getting random letters from the Alumni Association at UW-La Crosse saying, hey, been a minute. What do you got coming up for us? So do they take that angle as well?
Yeah, sometimes they do. Yeah, definitely. I'm a alum of UW-Milwaukee twice. So, yeah, I get those once in a while, too. You know what? Call the office and report it. Let them know.
Lisa Schiller joining us here from the BBB serving Wisconsin. Graduates are also exploring job opportunities, and it's never been easier to search for a job. You may not get the job, but to search for a job. I feel like sometimes this is a sounds too good to be true sort of situation. You're reading at it. You can work from home, ultimate flexibility. Just do this. How do you know and how do you spot scams in the world of looking for a job? Submit us this, maybe pay an application fee, do something, send us money, and we'll get you all the details and get you that first interview.
Yeah. Well, first of all, unemployment scams or employment scams in general is the number 3 most reported scam to the Better Business Bureau. It kind of fluctuates between 2 and 3 every year, so it's huge. And especially with college graduates, students are graduating now. They're looking for new jobs. They're moving. And so, employment scams are a dime a dozen out there. We see them reported all the time, probably on a daily basis, I could say, here in Wisconsin at least. You want to look for, first of all, salaries that are too good to be true. That's always a big thing. And, you want to believe it. So, a lot of people move forward and click on links that they shouldn't. When you're asked for a lot of personal information, you've never met the person, they're only online, they don't want to speak in person or on the phone, definitely a red flag as well. So many things involving employment scams, really. I mean, you cannot do your homework. You can't do too much of your homework.
Good. Very well done. College homework. I see you working. Now, there are some obviously scams if a company doesn't even exist. That should be very obvious for people to catch in the most cases. But what if a company is very real and what they're pitching sounds like a good idea? How can you pick that apart and tell if the claims they're providing are false?
Yeah, and that's a very good question because we see that a lot. A lot of these big companies that, we are all familiar with, and I won't name any names, but their names are widely known, so they're widely used by scammers. So, absolutely, when you're looking to apply for a job or you're looking for, a new employment, go to the company's website, first of all. So you see that, what you think is a job advertisement, go to their website, see if it's posted. It should be posted. And if not, pick up the phone and call the company and ask them directly about that position that you want to apply for. Just make sure that it's legitimate, that they are hiring, because scammers can make fake ones look very, very real.
A lot of things happening for college graduates, right? Including finding maybe a new place to live or relocating. So maybe you're starting to look for apartments in a city that you're not terribly familiar with. You go online, you begin the process, and then you run into an issue. How are scammers targeting those in the rental market in cities they may not be familiar with?
Yeah, I mean, this is a big thing, rental scams, for sure. Scammers create fake listings. They make them look very, very legitimate. They often ask for, an application fee up front. They want your information. You have to fill out that application. And it doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with that, right? So people go ahead and do it. But you have to be really, very careful. You definitely want to make sure that rental property or, whatever it may be, is definitely legitimate. So you have to look into it a little further, make some phone calls, make sure that it's legit.
And on that front, you got to get to that apartment somehow with maybe a moving company. I know a lot of people will just go with U-Haul, but it seems like, especially this time of year, there are big trucks with logos I've never seen before driving all over the place across Milwaukee, offering to lift your stuff and move it on out. What should we be focused on there?
Yeah, and actually, May is the busiest time of the year for moving. It's the busiest month, so glad you brought that up. Moving scams are a dime a dozen as well. We see a lot of reports from consumers in regard to them usually doing Google searches for movers or movers near me, movers at a good cost, that type of thing. And then up will pop different websites. Consumers click on them and then they, go ahead and hire. A lot of times they either don't exist or, they're like secondary companies that, may do the work for a mover. And that's why sometimes you see these trucks without any signage on them. So, of course, start your search with Better Business Bureau, bbb.org. I mean, you can do a search for accredited businesses. Those are movers, for example, that we've already checked out. We've already done all the research for you, and you can even click on a link and get a free quote.
Lisa Schiller serving the Better Business Bureau of Wisconsin. Congratulations, grads. Scammers are trying to encroach on every aspect of your life from now on. Lisa, we always appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
125 on WTMJ, Wisconsin's Midday News podcast, built by Siding Limited. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
We demand a lot of our shoulders and hands, our hips and knees, our backs and feet. They do life's heavy lifting, so we owe them the greatest attention in return. The Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network provides expert orthopedic and spine care to help you move, lift, turn, and reach with the most possible ease. Whether you have a sports-related injury or a nagging condition that just won't go away, excellence should always be an option. So we make our care available in nearby locations and offer same-day ortho and spine appointments when relief can't wait. It's how to recover quicker, prevent small concerns from becoming big ones, and solve complex issues with the expertise you can only get with academic medicine. We're given just one body, so let's tend to it, check in on it. Let's give it the greatest of care, because when it's tuned up and injury-free, we can always be pushing ahead. To learn more about our nationally recognized orthopedic and spine care, visit froedtert.com/ortho.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scavidi.
And Kristen Bry of Point Taken.
What's more important than having a special needs child turning 18 who needs guardianship?
Or helping aging parents plan for long-term care.
Thankfully, the attorneys at Walney Legal Group can help with both.
No intimidating lawyers, Walney Legal provides a customized, friendly experience to help make these processes as straightforward and streamlined as possible.
So whether you're planning for aging parents
or establishing a strong legal foundation for a special needs child, visit WALNYlegal.com.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Now that the weather is becoming wonderful, let's think less work, more play. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited replace that deck, build the outdoor kitchen, add a covered structure. How about an automated pergola with automated screens? Let us build a space for you that you'll never have to paint. All you need to do is play, enjoy, live. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. The showroom is amazing, perfect to start your journey. Less work, more play, Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Did the Greek gods ever sleep? Huh? Did Aphrodite have a heart-shaped bed?
Maybe.
Did Hades, god of the underworld, sleep on a trundle bed?
I think the Greek gods would have loved the Nevea bedroom from Penny Mustard.
Nevea is heaven backwards.
A bedroom fit for a king.
You mean a Zeus?
But not Poseidon. He'd have a waterbed.
The Nevea bedroom, starting at just $168 a month, with no interest and no payments till May of 2029 through May 31st at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Discover your new favorite city, Milwaukee. Catch a sunrise over Lake Michigan. Sip your way through craft breweries. And dive into a dining scene that's turning heads. From museums and music to thrilling sports teams and buzzing nightlife, Milwaukee delivers all season long. Good things are always brewing on the fresh coast. The expert guides at visitmilwaukee.org have everything you need to fully plan every detail. Whatever it is you'd like to do in Milwaukee. Plan your trip today at visitmilwaukee.org.
San Diego likes to stay on Pacific time. But here in Milwaukee, we're right on time.
Here's the throw from Perkins. It is going to be in time! Game over!
The Brewers take on the San Diego Padres tonight at American Family Field. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Blake Perkins says goodnight.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we help you find value on the things you value. So when it's time to take on a project, we've got you covered with the right supplies at unbeatable prices. Like all Cub Cadet lawn tractors, now $100 off. 40-pound bags of Estate Sun to Shade grass seed, $99.99. $89.99 for rewards members. Plus, get $150 instant savings on select 2-packs of DeWalt 5-amp-hour batteries. Find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Acumen Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from Accunet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, May 12th. Your top story, a deadly hit-and-run crash on Milwaukee's northwest side.
I'm Adam Roberts. A well-known Wisconsin custard stand reopening after a fire.
Scattered showers today, breezy and warm, high 74, wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. Showers ending tonight. It's currently 56 and rainy in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Before leaving for his trip to China, President Trump confirming that FDA Commissioner Marty Makary is moving on, he says. Two sources say that Makary intends to resign as early as today. He's faced backlash on decisions, including pressure from the president to authorize flavorized vape.
Marty's a great guy. He's a friend of mine. He's a wonderful man. And he's going to be off. And the assistant, the deputy, is taking over temporarily until we find. Everybody wants that job.
The president says he's looking forward to meeting with China's leader and says he'll continue to push for an Iran deal, but says Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. When asked about rising inflation in the U.S., the president says he believes it's temporary. 18 passengers from that Dutch cruise ship hit with a hantavirus outbreak remain in quarantine at facilities in Nebraska and Georgia. One person tested positive. Officials say another has developed symptoms. Officials say the majority, though, are asymptomatic. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:31.
A 71-year-old pedestrian is dead after a hit-and-run crash on Milwaukee's northwest side. Police say the victim was struck by a vehicle Monday night near 43rd and Silver Spring. The driver fled the scene. Investigators say they're still searching for a suspect.
A man facing charges related to a series of street takeovers in the city of Milwaukee is poised to stand trial.
Ricky Alcantara Hernandez of South Milwaukee pled not guilty to recklessly endangering safety and possessing a machine gun. Prosecutors say he organized multiple street takeovers last month, including at Kinnickinnick and Lincoln in the Bayview neighborhood. Videos posted on social media allegedly show Alcantara Hernandez driving recklessly during the takeovers, often drifting within inches of onlookers. He's due back in court next month. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
About 20 beagles rescued from Ridgeland Farms are settling into a new life at the Wisconsin Humane Society's Milwaukee campus and nearby foster homes. 24 more arriving at the Humane Animal Welfare Society in Waukesha this evening. Jennifer Smaya tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News one of the first steps is behavior evaluations.
We don't know their level of socialization, so we're going to be looking out for, do they engage with us? Are they coming to the front of the kennel and to want to say hi to us right away? Or are they kind of shying back and not sure?
Humans may take some getting used to, but Smaya says dogs in mass kennel situations usually are well socialized with other dogs.
The FIFA World Cup returning to the United States next month for the first time in 3 decades, and a former Milwaukee Bucks executive is helping lead the planning. Alex Lasry is CEO of the New York, New Jersey Host Committee on WTMJ's Point Taken.
We're expecting over 1 million people to visit the region over the course of those 40 days. Over $3 billion of economic impact. Most people who come to the World Cup aren't actually even expecting to go to the stadium. They want to be part of the World Cup experience, want to be able to watch and celebrate and be a part of everything that's going on.
Lasry says the event is a major tourism draw and that 15% of all tourists in the U.S. put sports on their itinerary.
And a beloved custard and burger stand in Waukesha reopens after a devastating fire. Oscar's Frozen Custard officially welcoming guests into their new 4,700 square foot space featuring a drive-thru. Today, the restaurant on Moreland Boulevard burned to the ground in November of 2024. No cause was ever determined by fire officials.
Can the Brewers keep the good times rolling? Sports, traffic, and weather on the way next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
Restaurant inflation is everywhere, but not at the Mine Chef family restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mine Chef is the most affordable dining destination in the area. The authentic Tuesday Mexican buffet is all you can eat in just $9.99 from 11 a.m. till 8. That's right, $9.99. Unbelievable. Kids 5 and under eat free today from the kids menu. They'll love the world-class game room quietly set away from the dining area. Your teenagers will really love it. Even adults love it. I urge you to visit the Mine Chef today for the all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for under $10. Happy hour is 2 till 5 today with half-price cocktails, beer, and appetizers, half price. And Wednesday, the all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry is just $8.99. The Mine Chef, right there in downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh near the EAA. Lots of seating, close parking. You will not spend a lot of money at the Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford. Just Google it, Mine Chef, and walk on in today.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
You can't beat Bernhardt.
Sports lovers love us.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Brewers have won 4 straight games. They'll go for 5 tonight as Pat Murphy's crew inching closer to full health.
We're feeling a little bit better about ourselves. We still got to get healthy. Priester threw a simulated game the other day, and he's on his way. Yelich took some at-bats, so he's on his way. We still have a few other guys that need to get healthy, and Woody, obviously. Hopefully we'll get on all cylinders and start playing consistent.
Brewers begin a 3-game series against the first-place Padres tonight. Coverage gets underway at 6:05 on WTMJ. The NBA Scouting Combine continues in Chicago. The Bucks are working a parallel path with roster scenarios that include Giannis and scenarios that do not. ESPN's Shams Charania believes Giannis is ready to leave Milwaukee.
Any conversation that the Bucks are going to have with Giannis Antetokounmpo, from my understanding, it's going to be a very simple one. Do you want to stay here and commit long-term in June? The answer, from all accounts, is going to be no. And at that point, The question is going to be, where does Giannis want to go?
The Bucks are expected to have clarity on Giannis' future in Milwaukee before night one of the NBA draft, scheduled for June 23rd.
Let's take a look at your drive now, your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Some good news. It looks like all lanes are back reopened on 4145 heading south. We had a crash earlier this morning around Silver Spring Drive. Work is finally cleared up there, and so the delays are starting to work themselves out. It will still be a touch slow from about Bradley Road all the way down towards Mill Road as you work past that construction zone, but at least the crash has been alleviated, so all lanes are back open. We do have a broken down vehicle right now on the ramp from National Avenue to 894 South, and it's right in the middle there, so just be mindful as you drive by. And then 94 West from about 27th Street over to Mitchell Boulevard as you work your way by the stadium will be slow as usual due to construction.
TMJ4 meteorologist Lauren Larson joins us from the Channel 4 Weather Center. Hey, Lauren.
Hey, happy Tuesday.
My kids were all excited. They always ask Alexa what the temperature is going to be on a given day, and they said the high was 74, so they ran upstairs and put on shorts this morning. And as part of our morning routine, it's Tuesday. That means the garbage has to go down to the end of the driveway. The other one took the dog out. They came running back in. Got to put pants on. It's freezing out, Dad. I thought it was going to be 74. I'm like, it's going to take a while to get there, though.
Yeah, we have, it was another cold start. It was cold yesterday as we had the frost advisory. No frost advisory here this morning, but we still had temperatures below average with some places in the 30s. So I feel that as I came into work today, too, an extra skip in my step, knowing the 70s were a possibility today. We may still see 70, but like you said, it'll take even a few more hours than right now. I'm looking at 61 right now in Milwaukee. The chance for 70 is there, but as we kind of hold on to these clouds right now a little bit longer than expected, I'm not sure if everyone will hit 70 this afternoon.
Wonder how much of that's being impacted by this rain that we're seeing move through. We were predicting it. You called it yesterday, but we didn't really know how much was going to fall. From what I've been able to see, looks like it's been pretty consistent across the area, but it does look, at least according to our WTMJ radar, like things may be starting to move out of the area here in the next hour or so.
Yeah, I would say a lot of the rain is even going to clear within the next 15 minutes. On our radar loop, it's clearing out pretty quickly, and then it just depends on how much sunshine we can get when that clears. Of course, the sunshine will help us with the warmer temperatures, but if we do start to see that sunshine and warmth, it is possible we have a few pop-up isolated thunderstorms here later this evening. The timeline for that, 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock tonight, just as kind of that broad window. Again, we're watching things that could just decide to fire up. Maybe some small hail, maybe some gusty winds. There is a marginal risk for severe weather, but I really expect if these storms do fire, 1, maybe 2 will become severe.
What are you seeing for the rest of the week, Lauren? I see a bit of sun tomorrow, but then another chance of rain on Thursday, Friday. It looks like kind of an unsettled week here.
Yeah, we are riding the roller coaster of temperatures, and unfortunately, when we do have those nicer, warmer days, that does come with a chance for some rain and thunder. For tomorrow, temperatures should be right around 60 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Same story for Thursday, hopefully a little bit warmer inland on Thursday, keeping an eye on those easterly winds throughout the day on Thursday. Now, Friday, we hit 70s again, but keeping an eye on, again, those showers and thunderstorm chances. Right now, it looks like it'll be earlier in the day Thursday, so I hope earlier in the day Friday. I hope Friday night can be dry. Most of the day Saturday looks to be dry and sunny, and then and definitely an unsettled pattern as we're tracking thunderstorm chances for Sunday, Monday, and maybe into Tuesday as well.
I wanted to, before I forgot, Lauren, issue your Weather Center over at Storm Team 4. Congrats on Brian Nestnansky's big honor today.
Oh, such a big win.
Is the newsroom a buzz with all of this today?
Yeah, I haven't seen Nest yet today, but I will have to congratulate him. That was one of my favorites. I can't say I'm one of the 30,000 people or whatever who voted, but I think that was one of the best ones they came up with.
Lauren, you didn't even vote for your own teammate and colleague over there?
I think it came out and I was excited and logged on, and I don't think I did. So he won without any. No, but that's an even better compliment. He won without me spamming the votes.
Okay, so for those of you wondering what the heck we're talking about here, the peregrine falcon eggs are hatching, and so there's 9 names, members of Milwaukee media, that were the winning names as part of this voting contest, and Niz is going to be named after one of the chicks that is hatched or will hatch here over the next several days. So Brian Nestnansky. I don't know if Brian's going to go to the banding ceremony. They actually, put the name of the band on the actual falcon at some point. That would be quite a thing to be a part of. Mm-hmm. What if he could actually put the band on, or if there are rules against that?
Be a big honor.
That would be a big honor. You get the whole station out behind him, Lauren. Bring the storm chaser out there. Get behind Niz as he puts a band on a falcon.
That would be a day in the life.
That would be something. We will look forward to that.
Did you guys have any winners?
We did. So John Mercure of the afternoon show, Flown Mercure was his name. He was the winner from WTMJ. Egg Matzik, I don't know where I finished in the voting. I didn't mind the name, however. I thought that was actually pretty good. Steve Scatweedy from our midday program, point taken. So he was a runner-up. So if there's another one, you have to get down to 10 or 12 of these things. He might get the nod. Very exciting.
Yeah, I like it. We'll have to try again I'm hoping to try again next year.
Well, we hope that we can all be involved. And again, just an honor to be nominated. Lauren, we always appreciate your time. We'll check in again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk tomorrow.
It's 1:43. Hey, would you get on a plane if you didn't know where it was going?
Where you live matters. Searching for assisted living can bring a lot of questions and a lot of emotion. At the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, we believe you need a clear, complete picture without pressure. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association on whereyouLiveMatters.org, a one-stop destination with unbiased information to help you understand your options and connect directly with providers in your area. No confusion, just tools that help you take the next step with confidence. Start your research today at whereyouLiveMatters.org.
It's Tuesday night. We'll be home after soccer practice and softball practice and likely to be watching the Brewers game in the comfort of our newly remodeled basement. Thanks to Matrix Basement Finishing, it's where we spend a lot of time. With the family, with extended family, with friends for movie night, for game night, hosting for the holidays. Matrix Basement Finishing came up with a beautifully designed basement, and they made it a reality for us in about 11 weeks' time. It started with a free, no-obligation consultation at our house. Before you knew it, we were making our finished selections right there from our kitchen table. That is part of the beauty of Matrix. They come to you every step of the way, and they only do basements. This is their specialty. Not trying to finish a house or a subdivision or anything like that. It's all about the basement, that lower level for making memories with your family and the ones you care about the most. Matrix Basement Finishing. Lock on with them. No payments till 2028. You'll appreciate that you have one point of contact from start to finish. You'll follow an app that has the entire schedule laid out. You know when the project is starting and ending. You know who's coming to the house and when. Matrix makes it very, very easy. Wonderful people. So glad we connected with Matrix. It's been the best thing we've done for our house since we moved in after building about 9 years ago. Let me personally connect you if you're thinking about doing that lower level at your house and building those memories. Contact me. I'll get you in touch with Matrix Basement Finishing.
$998 buys you a magnificent diamond solitaire engagement ring at Kessler's.
A solid gold mounting shows off a big, beautiful diamond, 3/4 of a carat.
Glitter, twinkle, sparkle.
This is the definitive diamond solitaire engagement ring.
You can choose a round diamond, radiant, marquise, or oval.
3/4 of a carat. Any shape you want.
Any color of gold you want.
A 1-carat solitaire is just $1,498.
Ask to see the Evermore engagement rings at Kessler's.
You're going to be ecstatic about the color, clarity, and cut of your diamond.
Evermore.
Each of these diamonds was lovingly created in the heart of a miniature star.
Your diamond will remain.
Evermore.
Your diamond was born about the time you fell in love.
You will be in love.
Evermore.
Your diamond has been waiting patiently for you to see it, love it, and choose it.
Don't keep it waiting. Come to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Picture this, a perfect summer evening, great friends, and dinner on the patio overlooking a beautiful course. That's Racine Country Club. More than golf, it's a place to relax, gather, and belong. A new energy is here, and you're invited to experience it. From great food to unforgettable events, it's a lifestyle built around community. Whether it's a quick night after work, dinner with friends, or a weekend with family, Racine Country Club offers something for everyone, year-round. Discover what's new at Racine Country Club. Visit RacineCountryClub.com.
147 on Wisconsin's Midday News. Adam Roberts alongside Greg Matzik with you on a Tuesday. You know, we're talking a lot about it. It's in the news. Inflation's at a 3-year high. Fuel costs are through the roof. Airline prices also skyrocketing, pardon the pun. So if you had an offer for a flight for $67 US, with all the fixins, sit in the economy, get you where you need to go just fine, you'd probably take that offer, wouldn't you?
Sounds like a deal.
I know I would. Here's the catch. You take that plane ticket, $67, gets you a seat on board, you get all packed up, but you have no idea, no earthly idea where this plane is going to land. You take off from the airport and you don't find out until right when you're about to taxi into your destination. Well, that is what several dozen content creators and contest winners were dealt with when participating in a promotion through a British airline over the weekend.
Passengers, this is the moment that everyone here has been waiting for. I would like to very warmly welcome you to Yerevan in Armenia.
The video there from a traveler on board this plane. So what's going on here? So this is a promotion run through Wizz Air Jetlines, which, first of all, what a horrible name for an airline. Wizz, W-I-Z-Z. Not unlike the Michael Jackson movie, The Wiz.
I like 2 Z's better than 1 for what it's worth.
There are 2 Z's in this title, though. Wizz with an exclamation mark. That's a fun thing to say. But yes, this airline offers this promotion. I believe they do this every year or so, where they will give an opportunity to content creators and also just members of the general public who want to get involved and put you on a plane that you don't know where it's going to go. So the creator of that video you just heard explaining a little bit more here about how this all newfangled thing works.
There's unknown on the board and unknown on the boarding pass as well. All they give you is the weather, tiny little description about what you should bring, i.e. sportswear if it's adventurous, and that is literally it.
So that answers one of the questions we had earlier this morning when we were discussing as a group, okay, would you actually do this? You do at least get to know what the climate is of the destination you're going to go to. So it's not like if you were flying from Milwaukee, they're not going to tell you, or they will tell you, hey, make sure to bring a parka because we might be exploring where the penguins walk at this place. Or, hey, maybe try out that new Speedo you were looking to get at the beach because we're heading to a very warm destination. So you at least get that, because that would be miserable if you weren't packing appropriately and suddenly you found yourself in the middle of the desert and all you had were snow pants.
So where were they leaving from? Were they leaving from London or somewhere in the UK?
Yes. So this was a direct flight out of London, and this airline sometimes will do things in different countries they operate in Europe, but this one was specifically from London's, I don't know if it was Heathrow or if one of the other airports in the city, but it was from London. And then, yeah, direct to Yerevan, Armenia. Lovely this time of year. If you're looking for fun things to do, you can enjoy the fountains of the Republic Square, go to the Kafesyan Center for the Arts, visiting the sprawling Vernissage Market, or this time of year, dart around 30 or so content creators standing still with their selfie sticks.
It does sound like a fun destination. They really seemed like they enjoyed it. There's a lot of coordination here, right? But it is sort of a clever promotion. You get lumped into this airline. It's a low-cost carrier, right? It's not unlike a Frontier or a Spirit.
Sure.
Maybe Spirit would still be in business if they did something like this. But you have no idea where you're going. There's nothing on the board. So think about the airport and how many boards there are, which indicate where your gate is, where you're going, departure time, arrival, all that kind of stuff. That's got to be cleared. You put it in destination unknown. You go to your gate. The boards are either off or it says destination unknown. And then also you've got your flight crew, where they usually announce, the destination and the flight time and the weather conditions and all that stuff. Well, they hold off on that until very late in the process. And then all of a sudden you end up in Armenia.
And the other thing that I found interesting about this as well, so you're thinking, okay, but what about the itinerary? Did they just drop you off and then say, all right, we did our part, we got you here, now go have fun? No, apparently there is an itinerary provided to these content creators because they got to put them in specific places. It's all part of the marketing and promotion. Personally, I do not care for vacations that are planned A, B, C, D, E. I like the ability to just wander a bit. And Yerevan, a beautiful, old, largest city in this Eastern European nation. It'd be very cool to check out and not follow the exact list of things to do.
Interesting stuff. Would you do it? Would you do it today?
I'm for $67. I'd figure a way to get through it. Yeah.
Okay. Gina, nodding her head?
As long as I know what I need to pack, I'm in.
Okay. Yep. They give you
got
the
that for
weather.
you.
They give you the weather. Wizz Air. It's 1:52.
wet basements and foundation problems? For over 20 years, Accurate has been the fix-it show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing. Whether it's cracked walls, drain tile issues, or water in your basement, they've got you covered. Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Call Accurate Basement Repair today at 414-744-6900 or visit AccurateBasementRepair.com. They're not just good, they're accurate.
Greg Matzik here for Gruber Law Offices. If you've been hurt in an accident, you make a call to Gruber. They focus on the legal aspect while you focus on healing. Wonderful people. They've got a large and powerful team at Gruber with over 30 attorneys ready to go to work for you. Locally known, but nationally recognized. This is a powerhouse, Gruber Law Offices. If you've been hurt in an accident, trust the largest personal injury firm, one of them in the Midwest. Family owned and operated, but they have that big team of attorneys ready to go to work for you. Check them out online at gruber-law.com. Learn about what they can do for you. Also learn about what they do each and every year in the community, supporting a number of community initiatives year in and year out. Wonderful people at Gruber Law Offices. 414-276-6666.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Take your family to the amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford for the all-you-can-eat Wednesday and Friday haddock fish fry for $8.99. Wow. You'll pay twice that elsewhere. Desserts or buy one, get one free. Google the Mineshaft. Call and reserve your table, the Mineshaft.
My name is Sherry, and I'm a real client of Gruber Law Offices. Gruber Law Offices took care of everything so I could focus on getting better. I only really did one thing, and that was call them.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Well, kind of a short-lived story here, but it was about a week ago we talked about GameStop suddenly coming out of nowhere saying, hey, we're going to buy eBay.
Okay.
They were not soliciting buyers, by the way, eBay. GameStop just sort of came out and said this. It just didn't seem to make sense. A company about 4 times its size. GameStop is David here. eBay is the Goliath. Well, now the online auction site is responding. ABC's Mike Dubusky.
After reviewing GameStop's offer, eBay CEO Paul Pressler says he's rejecting the proposal. GameStop had wanted to merge itself with eBay in a cash and stock deal valued at around $55 billion, a deal eBay now calls neither credible nor attractive. Analysts had been skeptical that GameStop could afford the offer, with Pressler citing uncertainty regarding GameStop's financing proposal. On Monday, GameStop indicated it wanted to issue more stock to raise funds, which would also dilute the value of existing shares. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
We'll talk with Mike about this and more coming up in our Tech Tuesday segment at about 2:30. I don't think anybody ever thought this was going to really happen. It seems so far out of nowhere and left field that GameStop has really only been in the news lately because of its meme stock, catapulting its stock value for just a small moment in time up to $100 a share or more, and then cratering back to earth, kind of where it belongs. They've had some struggles over the years as their brick and mortar stores have started to kind of dwindle when it comes to revenue. Many are inside malls. Mall revenue is down just all across the board. So it seemed like sort of a dying enterprise. I don't doubt they have to kind of reinvent themselves some way, somehow, but buying eBay when they're not soliciting for new ownership, that seemed like a tall tale.
Yeah, that is crazy to think about 5 years ago that meme stock rise happened. I believe it was right around this time in 2021. And suddenly, all of my friends in my friend group who had no idea about how the stock market works were suddenly professing to be experts and trying to predict which was going to be the next one. I think AMC was one of the names that got thrown around. That never happened, which is a good reminder. The professionals do what the professionals do for a reason. Don't try to put all your money in a meme stock.
Yeah, GameStop and
I believe I have to say that.
Locally, Cost was involved in that as well. Not quite to the same degree and the same explosion that GameStop had, but I remember Cost being kind of in that same cycle of meme stocks. Just a brief explosion, then kind of back to earth, trading at, perhaps $1 a share, roughly thereabouts. Interesting story here, but it never seemed to have the legs. 157 on WTMJ. Join us on our YouTube page. You can hop into the studio with us. We're streaming our program each and every day on YouTube. WTMJ's YouTube page. Search for Wisconsin's Midday News.
I'm Mark Olson with Redo Cabinets. Redo Cabinets is a family business serving homeowners for over 70 years. Now we're in Milwaukee and ready to share with homeowners the benefits of refacing and not replacing those old kitchen cabinets. At Redo Cabinets, we use premium cabinet facings made right here in the USA. You select from dozens of colors, styles, hardware choices, and accessories. And during our Memorial Day event, you could get big savings. 50% off installation of a kitchen remodeling project and a free sink and faucet. Plus, no payments and no interest until 2027. That's right, 2027. Incredible savings. Redo Cabinets, 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417. Or visit us at redocabinets.com. That's redocabinets.com. Serving homeowners for over 70 years in Illinois and Wisconsin. Don't replace, reface with Redo Cabinets.
Well, we decided to develop our own mattress line just, I think, purely from a quality standpoint again.
We wanted to go the opposite way the industry was going. The industry was cheapening things, and we didn't believe in that.
Ben and Arvid Huth, brothers and owners of Penny Mustard Furnishings.
The entire mattress industry has gone to one-sided. We still believe, and I know in my heart, that a two-sided is going to last you longer. You can get more comfort out of it.
That's the reason that we put higher density foam in the mattresses, is so that they're comfortable for a longer period of time. It goes back to just wanting people to be happy, not now, but 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I want them to look back and say, wow, I bought that a long time ago and I'm still really happy with it. That's true in our mattresses. It's true in our furniture. We don't want you to buy something and 5 years from now, you're like, oh, it's falling apart.
10 years from now, the customer shouldn't have to replace the mattress because it no longer supports them.
They can, but they don't have to.
Right, and that's how we build it.
See more at pennymustard.com.
15, 20 years from now, that mattress is still going to have good support.
Somebody can still use it.
Yes, absolutely.
Spring into better vision at Shopko Optical. Vince Vitrano here. All starts with a comprehensive eye exam from a skilled optometrist. Takes a look at your eye health and overall well-being. Need glasses, contacts, maybe both? At Shopko Optical, get expert care and the perfect eyewear for your lifestyle, all in one convenient visit. Locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. I go to the one at Hales Corners. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule your exam. Shopko Optical, partners in your eye care.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
San Diego likes to stay on Pacific time. But here in Milwaukee, we're right on
being set. Here's the throw from Perkins. It is going to be in time! Game over!
The Brewers take on the San Diego Padres tonight at American Family Field. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Tuesday, May 12th. Your top story. The head of the FDA resigns.
I'm Adam Roberts, a school employee under investigation for alleged child abuse.
Showers ending eventually. Gradual clearing. We'll actually see a bump up in temperatures approaching 70 degrees. Wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Overnight lows in the mid-40s. 56 and mostly cloudy in Milwaukee at 2 o'clock. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, President Trump's FDA commissioner is out.
Marty McCary is resigning as head of the Food and Drug Administration. He was an outspoken opponent of COVID measures during the pandemic. But in recent weeks, health industry executives, abortion opponents, and others complained about him. Most recently, vaping lobbyists said he was blocking approval of fruit-flavored e-cigarettes, flavors which sometimes appeal to children. When asked about his resignation, President Trump praised McCary and said, quote, he's a terrific guy and that he's going to go on, he's going to do well. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The search for Nancy Guthrie hitting the 100-day mark today. The 84-year-old mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie, last seen at her home January 31st outside Tucson, Arizona. More from News Nation's Brian Enton.
What they are doing now, though, is they've put together this task force. So it's made up of the FBI and the local sheriff's detectives. and they work on the case full time still. I mean, that's all they do. They're based at the FBI office in Tucson, and they go in Monday through Friday. You mentioned all the tips that have come in, and there's still tips that come in every single day. They focus solely on going through those tips and trying to find something that could move the case forward.
Authorities believe Guthrie was likely targeted before she was taken from her residence.
Closer to home, charges filed in the death of a longtime Milwaukee County public safety officer.
29-year-old Princeton Underwood faces 5 felonies, including first-degree intentional homicide in the death of 56-year-old Dennis Johnson. According to a criminal complaint, Underwood pointed a gun at Johnson, his passenger, and 2 children as they drove away from 12th and Locust. Underwood then followed the car and shot Johnson through the window. He died on scene from his injuries. If convicted, Underwood faces life in prison. Elizabeth Lintonen, WTMJ News.
An employee at Milwaukee Public Schools now under investigation after a complaint of child abuse.
Milwaukee police say a school employee allegedly struck a student Friday afternoon near 65th and Warmont. A 26-year-old man was taken into custody, and a letter sent to families. Wedgwood Park International School says the district immediately contacted police and Child Protective Services following the incident. Police say potential criminal charges will be referred to the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office. This comes just days after a separate alleged student and teacher child abuse incident at Engelberg School. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
And Wauwatosa leaders taking a closer look at the future of its city hall and public library.
City officials will lay out 4 possible concepts for renovating and updating the building at tonight's Committee of the Whole meeting. The options range from basic upgrades to more extensive plans that include larger community spaces, improved accessibility, and energy-efficient designs. City leaders say the project has been in discussion for more than a decade, with some parts of the building dating back to the 1950s. No vote will happen tonight, but public input is expected throughout the summer. A final decision could come later this year. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
News about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market update. After inflation hits a 3-year high, stocks responding in kind. The NASDAQ is off about 1.25% this hour, leveling off from earlier this afternoon, but still down about 320 points. Meanwhile, the Dow actually making a little bit of a gain this afternoon, now up about 0.1%, 73 points in the green. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 is down 30 points this hour at 7,383. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:04.
For 176 years, St. Vincent de Paul Society of Milwaukee has been neighbors helping neighbors, working to eliminate poverty and hunger with compassion and dignity. When families face hard times, our volunteers step in. Over 600 trained volunteers ready to meet people where they're at, in their homes. And that's what our Neighbors Helping Neighbors home visit program is all about. Volunteers travel in pairs, listening first, then offering personalized support. They provide families and individuals with things like furniture, beds, food, clothing, and connect them to vital community resources, help that provides stability during challenging times. These home visits don't just address an immediate need, they help create a safer, more stable future for our families and individuals in our community. Last year alone, St. Vincent de Paul Society volunteers completed nearly 11,000 home visits across Milwaukee County, serving those who need us most. Together, we are neighbors helping neighbors. To learn more about our mission or get involved, visit svdpmilw.org.
Spring is sprung, and big savings are in full bloom at Menards. Visit Menards Garden Center for everything you need to get your garden growing. Choose from hundreds of beautiful, colorful flowers, lush trees and shrubs, and everything in between. Menards Garden Center is back in bloom. Stop in today to get your garden on. Check out fresh deals happening now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Brewers carry a 4-game winning streak into tonight's game against the first-place Padres.
They're one of the best teams in baseball. Look at their lineup. Look at what they've done. Look at their record. They've done well against us over the last 3 years, and we'll have a big challenge.
Pat Murphy gives the ball to Brandon Sproat in Game 1 of a 3-game series. Coverage gets underway at 6:05. The NFL will release its complete regular season schedule Thursday night. Broncos and Chiefs will square off in the season's first Monday night football game of the season. Bills' first regular season game in their new stadium will be against the Lions. That'll kick off Amazon Prime Video's Thursday night football schedule. The complete international schedule will be revealed on Wednesday.
Let's check the roads now. Your WTMJ time saver traffic. Right now, looking pretty good. We do still have this broken down vehicle on the ramp from National Avenue heading onto 894 going south. It's been there for about a half hour or so now. As far as crashes go, we are free and clear right now across the board. The only slow spots you're going to find are going to be 4145 south from about Good Hope Road all the way down towards Capitol Drive, and some volume still on 94 east and west right around the stadium between 35th Street and Mitchell Boulevard.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
From TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Lauren Larson with your 5-day storm team forecast. The chance for scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms lasts overnight, but clears out about midnight. Temperatures only falling into the low 40s. For Wednesday, it will be a bit cooler. Highs in the upper 50s with some clouds to start, some gusty northerly winds, and then some sunshine by the evening. Still a cool and cloudy day on Thursday with highs only in the mid-50s, but warmer as we track another chance for rain and thunderstorms on Friday. Highs make it to the mid-70s and plenty of warmth in store for us this weekend. I'm meteorologist Lauren Larson with TMJ4.
56 degrees and cloudy, just some sprinkles falling in Milwaukee at 2:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek, and in for Jessica Ty, it's Adam Roberts.
Taking you to 3 o'clock this afternoon on Wisconsin's Midday News. Wisconsin's Afternoon News will bring you up to Brewers baseball. Tonight, taking on the Padres, our coverage gets underway at 6:05.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Well, number one, the search is officially now on for the new athletic director at the University of Wisconsin. A formal search to replace Chris McIntosh being led by interim president Eric Wilcox, who will be advised by a 9-member search committee. That was the big news today. They've got the identified committee in place and ready to go. This will be chaired by Associate Professor Lauren Bishop. Interesting names, familiar names. As part of the committee, former UW basketball standout and NBA All-Star Michael Finley, part of the group. Also, Indianapolis Colts general manager Chris Ballard, who's a 1993 grad of UW. Former AD Barry Alvarez believes the job at UW is a great one.
Tremendous university, great city to raise your family. Your fan support is there. That's a pretty good start. And you have a reserve in your athletic department, which nobody has.
Remains to be seen what the applicant pool is going to look like here. The athletic department is currently being run by interim AD Marcus Sedberry. He's not yet publicly announced if he's going to toss his hat into the mix here. The university does expect a new and permanent director of athletics to begin sometime this summer.
Earlier today, a very short but notable court hearing connected to Tiger Woods today. This after Woods' arrest back in March for suspicion of driving under the influence. CBS's Kemi McCormick has the details.
Tiger Woods' prescription drug records will be handed over to prosecutors. They had issued a subpoena for all of his prescription medication records from the start of the year through March. Defense attorney Doug Duncan argued Woods had a right to privacy.
I'm asking for a protective order to govern who can view these records.
Prosecutors agreed to limit access to the information.
That was the agreement reached by Martin County's Court Judge Darren Steele in this case. So Woods was not in attendance for this hearing today, in which the judge granted prosecutors his request. Ultimately, the attorney arguing that there was the right to privacy. You do wonder, given just how public a profile this case is, if that was the way things were going to go. The records will not be available through state open records law. They'll also be shielded from public view. And as I mentioned, Woods himself was not in court for this hearing today. Woods pleading not guilty to his case in March 31st, 4 days after his SUV, recall, clipped a trailer, rolled over onto its side. Very scary moments, but Woods was able to walk out under his own power. Officers say he was impaired, had 2 pills in his pants pocket, and according to a police report, those pills were hydrocodone pills. Woods charged with misdemeanor DUI in the case.
It's 2:11 on WTMJ. Coming up next, the Joint Finance Committee is just getting to the table here on the new proposal from Governor Tony Evers. We do expect it to go through. We'll go through some of the details if you missed it coming up on the other side.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in the state of Wisconsin. If you got a busted garage door, don't let it get you down. Give my friends at Geis a call today. They helped us out with a small project about a year ago. We just had some issues with the weather stripping around the perimeter of our door. No problem. Geis came out, installed new weather stripping. We were back up and running. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster in stock and ready to go, they have got a door, an opener for every budget, and incredible inventory. That could mean a very quick turnaround time for your project. My friends at Geis are ready for you. They even go custom if that's what your project requires. They got a beautiful custom design center at their showroom in Brookfield. It's right off Barker Road. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, check out GeisDoors.com. You can also visit their showroom like I did. See their inventory, visit the custom design center, connect with the great people at Geis. Don't think twice. Call Geis and visit GeisDoors.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi.
And Kristen Bry of Point Taken.
Krista, did you know that only 40% of Americans have done any estate planning and only 40% of those have been properly updated?
When it comes to wills, trusts, and probate, there's a lot at stake. I needed someone who specializes in estate planning. At Walney Legal Group, that's all they do.
No intimidating lawyers. They just provide customized, friendly, easy experience. They call it lawyering the way it should be. So whether you need your estate planning reviewed
or just getting started, visit WALNYlegal.com.
The news you need to know every weekday on Wisconsin's Morning News starting at 6 a.m.
Hackers have breached Canvas.
We use Canvas just for basically all our classes.
8,000 institutions, including the UW system, are customers of this site.
And every company's worried about this because it only takes one person in your organization to click on a phishing thing. One of the things they use is they create that sense of immediacy.
Only here on WTMJ. Watch the show every day on YouTube and on WTMJ.com.
Now, the rain should start to move out of here, of southeastern Wisconsin. It looks to be mainly south of Milwaukee right now, working its way over Lake Michigan. Hopefully nothing flares up later tonight. We should warm up somewhere around 70, but the wind gusts of 30 miles an hour may not make it feel all that warm. Clouds hang on for a good while tonight. Should clear up a little bit with a low in the mid-40s. Tomorrow's high 60 with sunny skies expected. 56 and cloudy in Milwaukee. Some sprinkles at 2:14.
Big deal in store potentially for Wisconsin taxpayers. The news broke just before our show yesterday that Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers and the state's two Republican leaders in the legislature, Devin LeMahieu and Robin Vos, had come to an agreement that would give, at around a $2 billion deal, property tax relief to Wisconsinites, about 3 million qualifying state residents. That meant potentially checks in your pockets as soon as the end of this year for up to $600. Well, right now, that process is starting to play out in terms of what has to happen before that deal can be officially signed, sealed, and delivered by the governor. So earlier this morning, some Republicans taking on a press conference in Madison, including State Representative Mark Bourne, talking about the deal.
We know that family budgets, the pocketbook at home is under pressure. And the fact is, this bill provides immediate relief to the taxpayers of Wisconsin. That was the key part of negotiations for us. We're happy we were able to get there in these bipartisan negotiations with the governor.
So you're hearing a lot of talk right now about, we got it done, we got this done. This is great for the taxpayers. This is great for people in Wisconsin. But it is not officially a done deal yet. There is still some steps that have to happen this week. And one of those steps is set to get underway here. In fact, just about a minute ago, it did. So the Joint Committee on Finance, or Joint Finance Committee, depending who you ask, is discussing this deal right now. So they have to give it their thumbs up. And then tomorrow's the big day. It will be before both bodies of the state legislature, the Assembly and the Senate, both of whom also have to pass on it before it will get to the governor's desk. And Governor Evers has said he anticipates signing this deal into law as early, potentially, as next week. Now, before we get into the will this actually play out as expected, let's break a little bit, Greg, what is actually in this bill. Because I've talked about the property tax rebate checks up to $600, but there is more, much more, in fact, in this bill. And senior advisor to the MMAC, Tim Sheehy, was on with us yesterday and broke it down.
Wisconsin will now cover 50% of the cost of special education, up from 42%. You're going to get a property tax reduction for both local and technical college school districts. Money will be put towards that. The tax rebate, $600 per married couple, $300 for an individual filer. And then I believe there's also an exemption for tips being taxed in overtime.
So a lot is covered under this deal that took months to negotiate, and it's the negotiation process that has now drawn the ire of several high-ranking state politicians. And this was previewed a bit yesterday. We had on Wisconsin's Afternoon News, Channel 12's political director Matt Smith very in touch with what's going on right now in the Capitol, and he heralded some of the opposition. And now we're starting to see, at least publicly today.
You don't announce something and you don't bring something to the floor unless you're pretty darn confident the votes are there to pass. So we'll say that. There is wiggle room for whether you're a Democratic candidate for governor, it appears, or some Democrats in leadership to quickly come out and oppose this. But the governor and Republican leaders at this point feel confident it's going to pass. So we'll have to see how much noise is generated over the next 48 hours.
Well, noise generation has begun indeed. In fact, several high-ranking Democrats, including, by my count, 4 candidates running for governor to replace Evers this fall, have all come out and said, to varying degrees, we don't either like, A, what's included in this, or more commonly I'm seeing how it was done, the sort of work back and make a deal sort of situation. But on the flip side, the governor has responded, well, that's kind of how this works. If you're going to have my job, you got to be ready to do some of these things if you want to make things happen.
Congressman Tom Tiffany is also out with a statement calling it another Madison gimmick that fails to deliver lasting tax relief for Wisconsin taxpayers, saying, short-term great, but the long-term, not a great situation. Those short-term reliefs, if you want to call it that, does offer direct rebate checks. There is some property tax relief, tax exemptions on earnings. So the idea of cash tips and overtime pay, those would not be taxable. Those would be exempt. Special education funding, as Tim Sheehy pointed out, and they would utilize a portion of the budget surplus, which Wisconsin does have, and it's a pretty substantial budget surplus right now of about $4 billion. So they would use about $2.5 billion of that surplus to go and make all these things what they intend to be. But it is interesting to hear that response from some of the Democratic candidates for governor, as well as Tom Tiffany, the lone Republican candidate for governor, denounced what is being suggested here and proposed by Governor Evers that Tim Sheehy believes that will eventually be signed.
And the state representative, Mark Bourne, you mentioned Tiffany's response, which did come out earlier today, a response to that.
Well, look, if Tom Tiffany were governor, we would have a much different bill before us, right? We would have a much better bill that we would all like a lot more, that would be better for the state of Wisconsin, better for taxpayers. But the reality is he's not, and we have to work with the governors here because folks need help now.
Tiffany, still the lone primary candidate on the Republican side for governor, and did receive a big endorsement from former Governor Tommy Thompson, who announced that on WTMJ last week.
All right, so they're just doing this right now, right? I mean, Joint Finance Committee is looking at this thing literally as we speak. I'm not sure how long these meetings typically last. Maybe perhaps by the end of the day today, when Wisconsin's Afternoon News winds up, they'll have a little bit of clarification on the next step and where it goes.
Which is the state Senate and Assembly. And I can say that some of those hearings do take a lot longer than you may expect. Now, how much of that is people hitting the buzzer and wanting to get their 2 minutes in, and then ultimately they're going to vote the way that they're going to vote? But as we have heard again, you don't put out the big release with all the details if you don't feel like before you hit send on that email that you had the votes that you had. But stranger things have happened.
It's 2:21 on WTMJ.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods in New Berlin is the baseball lover's destination, with a massive state-of-the-art indoor training facility featuring hit tracks with precision analytics, a huge open turf area, and all the best training equipment you need. So get in here and get ready to get better. And we'll help you with this special offer. Buy 20 batting cage credits for $30. That's 25% off. This is Brian Burkhardt, and if you love baseball and softball like we do, you can't beat Burkhardt. 153rd and National. If you plan on draining buzzer beaters, the place to start is Burkhardt, where you'll find a great selection of residential basketball hoops from the best brand, Gorilla. We'll handle the installation and take care of everything to make it easy from start to finish. And right now, when you buy from Burkhardt, standard hoop installation is half price. You can't beat that. This is Brian Burkhardt, and when you love basketball like we do, you can't beat Burkhardt.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You a sweet tooth at all?
From time to time, I would say yeah.
Ice cream, frozen yogurt, custard, all that kind of stuff?
For sure.
How about a little solitude with your favorite flavor? $5 will do it.
One company knows you need to be alone and focus when you're savoring your favorite ice cream. The low-sugar, high-protein, butterfat maker Halo Top is unveiling a limited edition food-safe golden spoon. It contains a built-in NFC chip that connects to your phone to trip the Do Not Disturb mode when you tap it. The silent a la mode utensil goes on sale Friday online for $4.90. That's the calorie count for a pint, 490. It works with both iPhones and Android devices. It is not dishwasher safe. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Well, a helpful tip there from Deborah. It also has a reinforced handle. It's built to be a little sturdier than a standard teaspoon, allowing you to apply a little more pressure when scooping into a pint that hasn't fully thawed. We've always been there before, right? You bend the spoon before you're able to get some ice cream out.
I have ruined many a college spoon that I held on to maybe for a little too long. Just snap. Not great.
So the Halo Top spoon features several design elements intended to improve the eating experience. I mentioned the reinforced handle. You've got an optimal bowl shape. That's the head of the spoon. It's often shaped to help shave the ice cream, which is recommended way to eat the Halo Top if you don't want to wait for it to soften. And a gold finish. You're going to notice a gold finish. Most official versions will feature signature gold-plated looks, matching the brand's aesthetic and the gold foil on their pint lid. So now you got the specialty spoon that just shuts up your phone for you, so you can just eat your ice cream in peace.
Yeah, you can contemplate how it really seems like every food brand and every food product is trying to market themselves as high protein nowadays, which you didn't see even just like 3 or 4 years ago. But now even ice cream, 30 grams of protein in this pint of soft serve.
Protein and everything, a specialty spoon that silences your phone. I'm wondering if restaurants can actually just get this set of cutlery all together. Can we do a knife and fork set? Can we just get it all together so they set your table as soon as you sit down, your phone just goes silent. Can't do anything with it.
You know, I would also vouch for if we could just maybe make the entire restaurant silent, because I always hate when I love going to packed restaurants because clearly that means it's good. But then the caveat is it's just talk, and I can't even hear myself thinking sometimes. Let's get on that.
Okay, well, if it's too silent, you got to be careful with the noises that you make.
Yeah, you don't want to go into those completely silent restaurants.
It's 2:26.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristen Bry, and I want to tell you about the dentist I recommend, my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Conmawalk Dental Care. If you've been putting off a cleaning, dealing with tooth sensitivity, or you're ready to finally fix what's been bothering you, this is a great place to start. Dr. Michaels and his team are welcoming, thorough, and focused on your comfort. They explain your options clearly and help you feel at ease in the chair. From regular checkups to crowns, cosmetic improvements, implants, and Invisalign, they can handle it all. And if something happens unexpectedly, they offer emergency dentistry too. I make the drive from Milwaukee to Oconomowoc just to see Dr. Michaels and his fantastic staff. They're that good. So call 262-567-7224 to request an appointment today, or just visit drmichaelsdentalcare.com. That's 262-567-7224 or drmichaelsdentalcare.com.
Hey, if you're headed to the ball game tonight, Potawatomi Sportsbook can get you there. Make any purchase in the sportsbook or same-day sports bet. You'll get a wristband, and you can hop on the shuttle. That'll take you right to American Family Field. Got to have that wristband on to get on the shuttle leaving Potawatomi. You don't need one to come back to Potawatomi. However, seating is limited. First come, first serve. Shuttle picks up and drops off at the Annex, which is right next to Potawatomi Sportsbook. It'll begin departing Potawatomi about an hour before the game, and return shuttles begin in the top of the 7th inning and run nonstop for an hour after the game. Take all the hassle and worry out of parking your car, paying for parking. Just head to the Sportsbook. They will make it easy for you at Potawatomi. Or maybe spend some time in the Sportsbook. If you're not going to the game, you can certainly watch it on that 2,000 square foot video wall. There's no place like it. It's Potawatomi Sportsbook at the beautifully designed Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we help you find value on the things you value. So when it's time to take on a project, we've got you covered with the right supplies at unbeatable prices. Like select Livingston seed packets, 25% off MSRP, 20% off assorted Longfield spring bulbs. Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, $64.99 for rewards members. Plus, get $150 instant savings on select 2-packs of DeWalt 5-amp-hour batteries. Find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazica here for Comfort Awnings. This year, reclaim your outdoor space like I did. Having the option to extend our awning when that summer sun gets too hot or when it's raining has been a game changer, and it allows my dogs, husband, and I to enjoy our patio every season. Right now, get up to $500 off any awning or screen. That's right, get 10% off up to $500 until the end of the month. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
Classic feeling. Your home is failing. Windows are old, roof looks horrible, siding is distressed. Even your front door fights you on everything. Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and I will be on the Fix-It Show this Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. 1 hour where you get to call in and ask about your failing home and how the professionals at Siding Unlimited can help you. Can't wait until Saturday? Bring your pictures to our Siding Unlimited showroom and let's chat. Start your home updating journey with Siding Unlimited at sidingunlimited.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about in my clinic kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
Coming up on 2:30, I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Tuesday, May 12th. Your top story, a body recovered from the river.
I'm Adam Roberts. A Milwaukee trailblazer passes away.
Some lingering sprinkles in the area, and that should work its way out of the area before too long. A gradual warm-up in temperatures as well. Clearing skies eventually tonight. A low of 43 after a high of 70. Right now it's at 64 and cloudy in Milwaukee. Wednesday, sun continues with a high of 60 degrees. Mostly sunny on Thursday, 60 near the lake, 62 further inland. Next chance of rain could be on Friday.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Before leaving for China, President Trump pushing back on criticism over the cost of the war with Iran and its impact on Americans, saying he believes the spike in inflation is temporary. ABC's Karen Travers asking the president about his economic policies.
The president promised to bring inflation down. It's now at its highest level in 3 years. Are your policies not working? What's happening?
Policies are working incredibly. If you go back to just before the war, for the last 3 months, inflation was at 1.7%. Now, we had a choice. Let these lunatics have a nuclear weapon. If you want to do that, then you're a stupid person, and you happen to be. I mean, I know you very well.
The Pentagon now estimating the war has cost $29 billion so far. The Senate confirmed Kevin Warsh today to serve as a member of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors. Another vote set to take place later this week on Warsh's nomination to become the next Fed Reserve Chair after Jerome Powell's term ended. Stocks down in afternoon trading. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News time is 2:31.
A body recovered from the Milwaukee River. The medical examiner's office confirms to WTMJ it was called to the area east of Humboldt and Wright in the River West neighborhood just before 8 o'clock this morning. It's unknown if foul play is expected in that person's death.
A man facing charges related to a series of street takeovers in Milwaukee in recent weeks will stand trial.
Ricky Alcantara Hernandez of South Milwaukee pled not guilty to recklessly endangering safety and possessing a machine gun. Prosecutors say he organized multiple street takeovers last month, including at Kinnickinnick and Lincoln in the Bayview neighborhood. Videos posted on social media allegedly show Alcantara Hernandez driving recklessly during the takeovers, often drifting within inches of onlookers. He's due back in court next month. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee leaders are remembering a trailblazer in healthcare and civil rights. Dr. William Finlayson was one of the first black physicians to practice medicine in Milwaukee hospitals. He died at the age of 101. Alderman Russell Stamper says his impact will be lasting.
Dr. Finlayson was a leader and legend in this city, delivering over 10,000 babies in Milwaukee.
Beyond medicine, he played a key role in civil rights in the area and helped launch Milwaukee's first black-owned bank. A memorial service is expected to be announced in the coming days.
A warm welcome for beagles making the transition from a breeding and research facility to their new forever homes.
Ridgeland 43. 43? People are foster.
About 20 beagles rescued from Ridgeland Farms arrive at the Wisconsin Humane Society's Milwaukee campus. After a quick vet assessment, many have gone home with foster families. In Waukesha, the Humane Animal Welfare Society is receiving about 24 beagles this evening. Jennifer Smia tells WTMJ.
We're also going to be doing quite a bit of behavior evals. We want to make sure that all the dogs are set up for success in their future adoptive homes.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
And AAA says Memorial Day travel is expected to be rather busy across the state of Wisconsin, despite the higher costs of traveling.
The organization projects more than 843,000 Wisconsinites will travel at least 50 miles from home over the holiday weekend. Most travelers are expected to drive, while about 44,000 people are projected to fly. AAA says gas prices are higher than they were this time last year, leading some travelers to shorten trips or stay closer to home. Nationally, AAA expects nearly 45 million Americans to travel over Memorial Day weekend. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Some breaking Brewers injury news. We'll have it for you up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News time is 2:34.
The Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra invites you to embark on a special journey across American music when it presents America the Beautiful, Patriotic Pops, May 22nd through the 24th at the Bradley Symphony Center. Celebrated trumpeter, vocalist, and principal pops conductor Byron Stripling will be your charismatic guide across a wide variety of genres that help define America's musical language, from folk songs and spirituals such as Shenandoah and Amazing Grace, to patriotic staples such as Stars and Stripes Forever, plus hits from the worlds of ragtime, jazz, and even R&B. Come, celebrate America 250 with America the Beautiful, Patriotic Pops, May 22nd through the 24th only. Visit MSO.org for tickets and more information, or call the box office now at 414-291-7605.
Do you have an upcoming wedding, a bridal or baby shower, maybe a family reunion? WTMJ's John Mercure here. I highly recommend having your party at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. Half your dinners are free. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner's free every single night, even for special events. Choice steaks, seafood, pasta. How about the surf and turf? Any entree, buy one, get one free. Desserts, my favorite part, is buy one, get one free. Celebrate a birthday, an anniversary, a retirement, or just a quiet free dinner with your sweetie. Have your company employee appreciation dinner at the Fox and Hounds. Half your dinners are free, and it's a gorgeous setting right in the heart of the Kettle Moraine near Holy Hill. Spectacular views. Gift cards are also the perfect year-round gifts, as your second dinner is always free. free. Order online and your gift cards will arrive shortly. I've done this many times. Reserve your wedding shower, rehearsal, or family dinner today. Half your dinners are free every night at the Fox and Hounds. Google, call, and reserve.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Brewers carry a 4-game winning streak into tonight's game against the Padres, the first-place team in the NL West.
They're one of the best teams in baseball. Look at their lineup. Look at what they've done. Look at their record. They've done well against us over the last 3 years, and we'll have a big challenge.
Brandon Sproat gets the ball tonight in Game 1 of the 3-game series. Christian Yelich reinstated from the 10-day injured list. Coverage gets underway at 6:05 on WTMJ. And the NFL announces the Broncos and Chiefs will square off in the season's first Monday Night Football game of the season. The complete international schedule will be revealed on Wednesday, with the NFL regular season schedule to come out in full on Thursday.
Let's get an update on the roads now. Your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We do have a fresh crash. It's on 94 East, right at the ramp from Brewers Boulevard, heading towards downtown. It does look like this work is being taken care of on the right shoulder, so I'm not sure if we're going to see any lane closures with this at all. My vantage point right now would suggest that's not going to be the case, but it is already a slow going. This could make it just a little bit worse east of Brewers Boulevard. Right now heading westbound from 27th Street, actually closer to 16th Street, all the way to Mitchell Boulevard will be slow on 94 right now. We've also got some volume starting to build up right around downtown on 43, heading south from about Fond du Lac Avenue over towards the high-rise bridge. And then 4145 through the construction zone remains slow, heading south from about Mill Road all the way down towards Capitol Drive.
From TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Lauren Larson with your 5-day Storm Team forecast. The chance for scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms lasts overnight, but clears out about midnight. Our temperatures only falling into the low 40s. For Wednesday, it will be a bit cooler. Highs in the upper 50s with some clouds to start, some gusty northerly winds, and then some sunshine by the evening. Still a cool and cloudy day on Thursday with highs only in the mid-50s, but warmer as we track another chance for rain and thunderstorms on Friday. Highs make it to the mid-70s and plenty of warmth in store for us this weekend. I'm meteorologist Lauren Larson with TMJ4.
64. Starting to see a little pop of sun here in downtown Milwaukee.
It's Tech Tuesday with ABC News technology reporter Mike Dubusky.
We're not sure if he will be a judge in the upcoming AI beauty pageant, but he is our guest every Tuesday on Tech Tuesday.
The latest and greatest in the world of tech.
Tesla's next product, they call it a robo-taxi. These are AR glasses. They're called simply the Frame.
On Wisconsin's Midday News.
It's Tuesday. That means Tech Tuesday at Wisconsin's Midday News. Our weekly check-in with ABC Tech expert. It's Mike Dubusky. Hey, Mike.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Doing well. Let's talk AI and cybercrime, shall we? On Monday, Google discovered that hackers attempted to use artificial intelligence to create a new and undiscovered method for bypassing two-factor authentication. Mike, make this make sense.
Sure. So we got to rewind a couple weeks here, guys. Remember when Anthropic made this big announcement about Mythos? This was the AI tool that was apparently so powerful they were not going to release it. A big part of their concern in that announcement was that bad actors on the internet would use Mythos to comb through security systems around the world and major companies, government organizations, whatever, and identify holes in those systems, vulnerabilities. Well, yesterday, Google's threat intelligence group said they discovered that a hacking group had been using AI to do exactly that. There's a lot here we don't know, so let's just run through kind of what they are saying. According to Google's report, hackers identified a flaw in a popular system administration tool that allowed them to get around two-factor authentication. Probably familiar with two-factor authentication. It is that security measure where you go to a website, you try to log in, it'll text you a code, you put the code back into the website. Kind of annoying, but thought to be one of the better digital security measures we have in our toolbox. Hackers apparently were using AI to get around that. And the flaw that Google discovered here is what's known as a zero-day vulnerability. They are basically the nightmares that cybersecurity experts have. There are vulnerabilities in code that developers are not aware of, and you can't fix what you're not aware of. So when you apply that to something as important as two-factor authentication, that's pretty concerning. So Google also says that the actor likely leveraged an AI model to do this, which would make it the first time that a hacker group was found to be using AI to exploit a zero-day vulnerability, though it seems like the attack, at least for now, appears to have been thwarted.
It might be a knee-jerk reaction, Mike, but does a discovery like this have any large long-term effect on confidence people should have in 2FA?
It's a good question, right? I think germinating question this morning in talking about this has been like, what do we do beyond 2-factor authentication, 3-factor authentication? Like, what is the
What's the number, Mike?
Jump, right? Which, sounds like it would be really frustrating to orchestrate and maybe not effective if this method exists, if this hole in the system exists. So the battle here, guys, is really between the black hat hackers, the bad actors out there, and the white hat hackers, the good guys. And every advancement that the hackers make, the cybersecurity experts need to make an equivalent advancement. So with artificial intelligence, it has kind of thrown fuel on the fire. These hackers have been using AI, it seems, to exploit these vulnerabilities in security code. But by that same token, these cybersecurity experts can use those same tools to find holes in their own code and then patch them. So it's not like they're, completely out of sorts here. But there is this sort of growing sentiment that, our data might be at a special risk because of the influence of AI on the cybersecurity world. We talked about Mythos already, but Anthropic also recently said that state-sponsored Chinese hackers used its technology, not Mythos, but a different product, to hack into more than 24 companies and government agencies. It seems to be a growing concern among the cybersecurity set.
Yeah, AI as a cyber weapon is definitely frightening. Mike, the maker of ChatGPT, facing a new lawsuit pertaining to the death of a Florida State University student. What do we know about this?
Yeah, so this goes back to last year, a mass shooting at Florida State University. Tiru Chaba was one of the 2 people who was killed at FSU in that shooting. It is his widow now lodging this lawsuit against OpenAI, ChatGPT, and Phoenix Ichner, who is the accused gunman in the case. According to this lawsuit, ChatGPT provided Ichner with input and information when he was planning the shooting. The lawsuit cites thousands of chats that Ichner allegedly had with this AI chatbot, everything from how certain guns work to what types of shooting get the most media attention. He's apparently researching previous mass shootings and had an interest in Hitler and fascism and Christian nationalism. It also alleges that OpenAI failed to create a product that would refrain from participating in these discussions, which, according to this lawsuit, amounted to it co-conspiring with Ichner to commit those crimes. This is an 8-count complaint that accuses the defendants of wrongful death, negligence. It also goes after specifically the design of ChatGPT, calling it defective and negligent, sort of echoing what we've heard from similar legal arguments in the social media cases, going after the design of the platforms as opposed to the content on them. The family is seeking an unspecified amount of damages in this case, and OpenAI, for its part, responded to a request for comment from ABC and said that while the FSU shooting was a tragedy, ChatGPT is not responsible for the crime.
One of the things I think about with this story, Mike, is this idea of sycophantic behavior amongst AI chatbots and how prevalent it is. And for those who don't know what that means, it's basically if I ask a chatbot, hey, help me do this thing, it will respond, absolutely. I really like your motivation for this. Let's explore that together.
Yeah.
So how critical is it that at some point, some form of regulation is implemented, whether it's by these AI companies or in spite of what they want to do, to prevent this sort of behavior from being allowed to expand to what it has?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, right? With regards to the sycophancy question and OpenAI specifically, one of their recent models, which is called GPT-4o, which kind of is the engine that underpins ChatGPT and a lot of their other technology, that was known to be especially sycophantic. That's when we really started talking about that. And now, in the years since that model launched, they've replaced it with a supposedly less sycophantic model, even to the point where when 4.0 got shuttered, when it went away, people were actually sad, right? That they kind of missed their friend that was so kind and friendly to them. So from OpenAI's perspective, they're making improvements, right? They're trying to kind of tamp down some of this sycophancy. But as it applies to how this could potentially be regulated, it's complicated, right? Because the Trump administration has been pitching itself as very pro-AI, trying to basically grease the wheels for these AI companies to develop develop stuff very quickly and to advance very quickly because they see this as a global race against some of our adversaries out there in this very important technology. We don't want, to put too much regulation on the industry, so they say, because we don't want China or Russia or whoever else to get ahead of us in terms of technological development. That could spell, some real disastrous outputs. At least that is, the messaging we've heard from the Trump administration. But also worth mentioning, this is kind of to go back to the first story we were talking about with regard to cybersecurity, guys. A recent report from the New York Times finds that the Trump administration is apparently considering requiring AI companies to submit their models for government approval before release. And that would radically reshape how this industry does business and definitely slow things down to a certain degree.
Mike, another story popping today, eBay officially rejecting GameStop's $56 billion takeover proposal, calling the unsolicited bid neither credible nor attractive. This seemed like a far-fetched idea when we first spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. I'm wondering if it was just a brand awareness tactic for GameStop.
They're very possibly. I mean, we've talked about GameStop in the past. Their recent years have been kind of unusual and unconventional. The idea that, this company had kind of been falling on hard times, and then in 2021, a group of sort of, retail investors on the subreddit Wall Street Bets kind of punched up their stock price, and, they collapsed a hedge fund in the process. It, created this big turnover in the space. And it seems like, their MO recently has been to just kind of be in the headlines every once in a while to keep that stock price at least somewhat elevated from where it was originally. Is it possible that that was kind of the effort behind this, proposed eBay acquisition? Certainly. I mean, eBay is 4 times the size of GameStop for one, and it was sort of unclear what, their exact plan was beyond just like laying off a bunch of people at eBay and like maybe using some of their physical retail locations to sell eBay products. But it was always treated with a fair amount of skepticism by a lot of investors and by a lot of people in the tech space as well. So I'm not super shocked to see eBay rejecting this offer, but we're going to have to see what GameStop does next because it's a kind of interesting story to follow.
It is interesting, though, when it comes to eBay, Mike, this entity that's existed for so long and has been through basically the entire history of the internet as it is, and yet its stock price is up 24% this year, even with the competition from places like Amazon, Facebook Marketplace, Shine, etc. So maybe there is still a world where eBay can be relevant in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, eBay has been in the midst of a turnaround effort, right? Similar to GameStop in a lot of ways. They were kind of big in the 2000s and the early 2010s, but then sort of fell out of the public eye in large part because other newer, shinier stuff came along, namely Amazon in eBay's case. However, since 2021, they've been trying to orchestrate this turnaround effort to sort of revitalize their offerings. And in February of this year, I believe it was, a couple months ago, they acquired Depop, which is a secondhand clothing app for $1.2 billion, trying to sort of freshen their offerings, broaden the type of things that they offer on their platform. And you're right to say, their stock price is elevated, about 137% since January of 2024. So to a degree, that turnaround effort appears to be working, albeit modestly. So did they really need GameStop in the first place? Not really, it doesn't seem like.
A Tech Tuesday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News with Mike Dubusky. We appreciate it, Mike. Good stuff.
Of course, take care.
Here's to experiencing it all this summer in Wisconsin. Every deliciously cheesy, rockin', magical, fireworks-filled, festival-loving moment. There's Cheese Curd Fest in Ellsworth, Strawberry Fest in Cedarburg, Festival of the Arts in Stevens Point, and the Renaissance Fair in Bristol. Honor the Earth Powwow in Hayward, Mile of Music in Appleton, Venetian Fest, Brat Fest, Summerfest. So many fests for your whole crew. Find them all at TravelWisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does, because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty, for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
I'm torn on this because I don't know if I want to see another quarterback wearing number 4 or number 12 or number 15.
See the world from his perspective.
I think you'd ever have to get to where it'd be like pi, 3.14 or anything like that.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, every day at 7:50.
That's like back in the old days when I would walk on at Wisconsin, you got the issued gear and it was number 140. Kind of let you know where you're at.
Mark Tauscher, presented by Hello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Starting to warm up a little bit after the rain moved out. We're at 66 degrees right now in Milwaukee. Could be hitting 70 a little further inland. Wind is ripping around pretty good, though, in most areas. Over that low 43, tomorrow's high 62 with sunny skies. It's 64 degrees in Milwaukee at 2:51. All right, now we entered the point in the show where Gina controls the rundown. So we got a rundown. It's like our little Bible. It's our show map. It's what we follow each and every day. Gina actually locked the 2:53 segment. She wouldn't allow me to edit it. I couldn't do anything with it. And it says Starbucks summer menu launches today. There's a picture there, which I think Gina has put on our, yes, she did, our talk and text line. If you text the word watch, you can see the bright and colorful Starbucks summer menu. We've got it up on our text line here. Watch to 855-616-1620. Gina, what are we looking at here? Very multicolored drinks here beyond the coffee stuff. What is all this stuff?
You are in luck because you have a lot of new refresher options.
I do like those.
So a new tropical butterfly lemonade, which have those pearls in the bottom that you like. The little
those
popping
little balls.
pearls.
Oh, yeah, you suck them up through the straw. It's a weird surprise.
Yep, exactly those. And then the new butterfly drink, which is what you like, which is a little bit thicker when they put the coconut milk in it instead of just the lemonade.
Okay.
So you can do that. As for coffee, horchata, frappuccino, horchata shaken espresso, which Jessica loves.
Wasn't horchata on the winter menu?
It's making a comeback for summer.
Okay.
Apparently.
All seasons, I guess.
Yeah, very seasonal. And then a mango dragon fruit energy refresher.
Is that the one in the middle there if we're looking on the watch, 855-616-1620? Is that in the middle?
The refreshers actually aren't up there. Those are all the tropical butterfly drinks.
Those are very colorful. So Starbucks has moved to these multicolored drinks. They did something with like something called ube in the early spring, and this was like some sort of weird sweet potato that I'd never heard of, but it was purple. And I think it just gave the drink a very colorful look, but I never saw anybody order it or drink it, and I don't think it lasted very long, and now it's out. You can't even get it on the menu. But they've transitioned here now, so we're in the summer menu, and these are very colorful. I'll give them that.
Yeah, it almost looks like the rollout you see every year for the Wisconsin State Fair when they have all. Like, I think actually Ube was on one of the Sporkies and or Drinkies last year. That's why I was like, this sounds familiar. They may be in the same planning meetings.
They have some new food offerings as well. There's a white cheddar protein popcorn because everything has to have protein in it now. You've got the unicorn cake pop coming back, which my daughters really like. There's a couple other things that might be familiar to you, including a cool lime refresher that's returning to the summer menu. Apparently that was around last year, though I don't remember ever having it.
Also, I see it looks like scheduled ordering is coming. I don't know how often anyone would use this, but now you can book up to an hour ahead if you've got a busy day and you're running a little behind, but you know exactly at that time that you want to pick up one of these lovely beverages.
So you do a mobile order, but then you put in the time you're going to arrive to get it?
Yeah, so up to an hour
we would use
ahead.
that. We would so use that on Midday.
My concern is that we would forget.
Oh, I wouldn't forget.
Well, we have you. That's a very good point. I don't think we would forget with you.
It's only for mobile orders, but I mean, that makes sense.
Nevertheless, the new Starbucks summer menu is out, and soon it'll feel like summer here where we live. 2:55 on WTMJ. We are out of time. If you missed our program, any of our program today, yesterday, the day before, the week before, check out our podcast page. It's built by Siding Unlimited. All the great interviews, show by show, segment by segment, up there for you. We also have a YouTube page, so check us out. Hop into our studio with us each and every day. Wisconsin's Midday News on YouTube. Wisconsin's Afternoon News is next.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests.
That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Vince